welcome to this episode of Outcast and Outclassed.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Yeah.
You don't know how hard it was to not do that while you were talking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Kindly.
I was like a loaded gun, ready to go.
Hell yeah.
So now that you are all here with us, including our YouTube and podcast audience, well, I guess not for the podcast audience, but use your imagination because visually we're cute as heck. Look at us
We got
today.
fancy for all of you.
If
To
you're
be
watching
clear,
the
we're always cute as heck.
If you're listening to the podcast, just go check out our Go Live tweet, and you can see all of us.
Yeah, I have a little screenshot.
yeah.
We're adorable. And I have cool horns, thanks to Star's birthday
Yeah, you
present.
do.
And I'm wearing a very see-through shirt, and it's cool.
Let's go.
So, why are we wearing fancy stuff? Because we have a ceremony in a little bit. But
just because we missed you all, that's
Which may
fine.
quickly turn to a
yeah, we
funeral
just
things
fancy
go.
because we miss you.
Yeah, listen, I
Yeah.
dressed appropriately for a funeral, so we're fine.
I
We're
mean, yeah, black hat, black suspenders. I'm close enough.
We can make it work. We can all make
You know,
it work.
this could work for some kind of funeral. I don't know.
I think Star's wearing like gorgeous red, so I think you could just be that like
The corpse?
Yeah.
Because you can't see the blood? Yeah.
Yeah.
No one makes me breathe my own blood.
Waffles, you
Yeah.
did
one
kill
of the
me
things
this
I was
weekend.
expecting. It was not that. All
Waffles
right.
did kill me this weekend. So
That's
be
true, that's
appropriate.
true.
First,
Facts.
some announcements. I got only one, which is Happy Hanukkah, y'all. It's the
Happy
first night of
Hanukkah!
Hanukkah tonight while we're live. So Chag Sameach to everybody, that if everyone that celebrates, and if you don't, thumbs up. So that is all I have
If you
for
don't,
announcements.
Happy Game Award.
Yeah.
Happy Game Awards. Perfect.
That's true.
So, let's see. I suppose we should get to today's sponsors. Maria.
Y'all, have you ever wanted your house to smell great? Do you want it to be appropriately themed for your ttrpg gaming nights? Well, have I got the place for you to go? It's a place that has really good smelling candles. It is also a place that has a really cool discount code, Crafty Gamer.
We did it.
Flawless. I'm jumping in on the Crafty Gamer because I want to bring attention to very specifically Aromas of Adventure. And this is something that
Yes.
I got from PAX U, thanks to the lovely folks. And I will, listen, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know if I'm supposed to show this yet, but I will very briefly.
Yes, we don't care about the correct. No, I'm just kidding.
We love them. Thank you
Forgiveness,
very
not
much.
permission.
So the Crafty Gamer that you're very familiar with, the specific brand Aromas of Adventure is all of their really cool scented candles that are like for different like fantasy and other setting based things.
Such as Forest of the Fae, Dragon Den, Frosted Peaks,
Perfect.
Brothel.
Thank you so much. So I am very sensitive to smells. That's me. And so I do my best, especially when we were first like working with them, to be like, oh, okay, let me look at the descriptions of these smells and be like, what do I want? What do I think I like? But the reality is that I don't know. So they are going to be doing, they're either going to be doing it or they have this thing out already. I don't know. And again, I'm so sorry if I'm not supposed to be showing this, but it's really cool. They have sample packs now of their different scents, and they look at all this and they're labeled on the bottom and they're so pretty, and you hear box noises, and I'm sorry, but I have literally 3 different ones and they all have different scents and they all smell so good. So if you are not sure what smell you want, they are going to at some point have sample packs, and you should get them. That's all I had to say.
On top of that, they also sell things like board games from a bajillion different places, like Fantasy Flight. You got some puzzles. There's all sorts of stuff. Listen, there's role-playing games. You can get board games. You can get candles. You can get all sorts of stuff. You can go to their cool in-person store in Florida. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. It's in
Yes,
Florida.
Orlando.
You're right.
10 out of 10.
Or
Somewhere down
you can
there.
shop. You can shop online at thecraftygamer.com. Use the code WafflesMaple. Save yourself some money. Tell them that we sent you. It's all great. It's all good. And it smells fantastic.
All right. Also, I'm going to jump in here real
uh-huh.
quick.
Do it.
There's 10 candles in that pack. So, you should get them and light all 10 different flavors for a 10 candles
Wow.
game.
No, my poor nose. No.
Hey, maybe they'll all work together.
Yeah.
And you too
Blended
can smell like a
perfectly.
Bath and Body Works.
And then you
Let's
could
go.
Okay, we're moving on, please.
the Forest of the Fae
Hey.
brothel.
Eldritch Osiris Games, everyone, is a fantastic, wonderful group of individuals, and also the first Pathfinder2e workers co-op in TTRPG history. They work with a large variety of creators and makers and movers and shakers in the TTRPG space to promote and produce a bunch of TTRPG supplements. A lot of it is Pathfinder, but most of it is Pathfinder. They also had a very successful Kickstarter recently, Mechfinder Universe of Mech and Magic, that, oh my gosh, I heard that Waffles in Syrup from WafflesMapleSyrup are going to be writing for that.
What?
Oh, goodness. So keep your eyes open
I
and peel for that.
also might be art directing that book, which is really exciting.
Oh, shit.
Lots of cool
Okay.
stuff happening there. So EldritchOsirisGames.com. Go check out all of the fantastic works that are on there. Support other creators doing cool
Yes.
things. And
I'm
help
so
Eldritch
glad.
Osiris keep going and getting bigger and better and more awesomer.
There are some really cool people, and I'm really, really glad for. I'm very grateful to both of our sponsors, to The Crafty Gamer and to Eldritch Osiris Games, and I'm really glad that we got to actually say hi to folks from both of those companies this past weekend at PAX U. I'm going to add one unexpected announcement to our list of announcements at the top of the show, and I'm sure everyone's like, "Oh my God, get to the show already!" And yes, we will. But first,
No.
this is really
No.
cool, and I'm really excited. So. You're here. We're gonna listen. Let's go. So tomorrow, y'all, this is really important. It's tomorrow, and for everybody who's watching this later, it's already out. So you gotta do it. But tomorrow, a certain Goblin Society Games, of which our own Happy Capster is a part of, is releasing their next book, Hellbind. It's a gritty sci-fi setting for the Savage Worlds
If you're
TTRPG.
looking at the stream, it looks like this.
Look at that exclusive.
It's a real thing.
It's a lot of
so
pages. It's
You
really
can go check it out.
cool.
real soon, tomorrow, at goblinsocietygames.com or on your socials at Society Goblins. So you can go pick up your copy, go check it out. It's really cool. And Maria worked on it really hard. So, you know,
We
support
worked
it.
on it so hard. There's
Okay,
also going to be
okay,
other
okay.
stuff coming out at the same time. So just
Oh, guys, so much
that's
stuff.
going to be a surprise for tomorrow.
Okay, so, friends, family, countrymen, whatever you
I
want.
don't have any friends.
Ladies and
Your
gentlemen.
Archishon. With that, it is time. So, see you in class. Welcome back. I love our intro video so much. I'm gonna watch it again at some point. And I want
Right
to
now.
extra special. Yeah, hold on. Let's just go do it again.
Go, Waffles.
No. However, I do. It's just been a while, so I wanted to shout out at art or Lenny I think. I forget. I apologize if they've changed their handle, but they are a wonderful artist that did a lot of the art in our intro video, and so thank you, Lenny. It's really great. Okay, so it has been a little bit since we last played. So everybody watching, watch this super slick, cool GM move that I'm about to just expert move. Who wants to do the recap? This is not going to be me.
I have several pages of notes.
I have pages of notes of what happened with everyone but me.
Okay. All right, everyone. Settle in. It's story time. We went to Genetimo to update them on the Griffins. Genetimo gives us each a scroll. Oh, it's our ceremony invitations, everybody. We were informed we're gonna have a new ceremony and we're gonna level up at school to become Convergents in 2 weeks. We are expected to give a little speech on how our magic can be most useful in the world, or how we see our magic being most useful in the world. I have written down here 2 weeks of stuff. We all did some stuff in those 2 weeks.
Everybody had stuff, and it was done.
Everybody had stuff.
Stuff and
And oh
things.
boy, was there stuff.
Stuff and things. Ark went to a place called The Between, which, as I wrote down, is a place of crafting named after Carmine Jaws, the hyena that looks between. To craft scrolls, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
for
true.
use later on. Ark had an encounter with Ignacy, and we were all feral about it until Ignacy seemed to
I love
be...
how that's probably in your notes. We went feral.
Ignacy seems to be prying Ark for information about all of us. Seemed to be a little jealous about us. And specifically, as I put down, Ignacy is jealous, ? Of us for somehow getting Genetimo's eye, despite our seeming lack of combat prowess. So, Ark was then challenged by Genetimo to go take a dance class, essentially.
What a sentence.
Just a great sentence.
As I wrote down, though, challenge to perform and strengthen their weakest skill, which I think they discovered was performance, aka dance. That, to fast forward, Ark did that, and we had mixed responses. Tao did a lot of reading and research about Fate, about the followers of Fate, finally reading a book that they've been had for a long time. Went on a library journey with Miriam and Shazire, and it was really great and super cool. Learned about different Fate people, such as Grandmother Spider, and all of the sorts of other stuff. And also did a little bit of Android lore dumping, learning a lot about Android stuff, such as the life cycle of an Android, which is very interesting and highlighted in red. Now, I may have to tag in my fellow note taker, Star, to talk about Hideaki's thing, because literally the only thing I have written down is one hang glider business with Habram.
Oh, all right.
I'll step in just a little bit for briefness' sake. Hideaki worked with the wonderful Habram for his hand glider business. However, one Essie elbowed her way in and found herself.
Hermione Granger showed up.
Hermione
real,
Granger shut up. And had a little bit of a combat sparring session with Hideaki afterward, trying to one up him at every turn, only to get. I forget if it was a draw or at the end or something like that.
It was a draw.
Yeah.
Hideaki would say it was a draw.
Definitely.
And had a conversation in which, as we after the show discussed, probably the worst possible thing to say to Essie.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh,
it was
yeah.
perfect
No
for
regrets.
Hideaki, and
Yep.
I love it so much. That kind of giving a taste of all of the different student reactions that have come abound. We also get one Airfay who went to talk to Genetimo, only to be interrupted by Teacher Lissetti, who I think some interesting information was found regarding your relationship with your shadow, Yafira / Renala / whoever you really are. And no, it was a joke. That was a joke. I saw that look. That was a joke.
Can't joke about these things.
And as well, I believe asked one Airfay to come swing by later, as once they heard about their after they've gone through their official Conversant ceremony. So perhaps a different taste, where while some students are a little jealous or a little upset or even supportive, we have the teachers that are hearing a little bit about this that maybe are intrigued as to y'all just separating a little bit from the herd and getting yourselves noticed. But at the end of that, we ended on the arc dancing scene, which we already talked about. And that brings us basically right up to the ceremony, which is where we're going to get started.
Let's fucking go.
We don't have
My
a good
God.
track record with
You
ceremonies.
don't. So very
It's
briefly,
not our fault.
at the top of the round here, not round, we're not in initiative yet.
How dare!
But at the
How dare!
very quick round the table, we're gonna start with you, Duval. Tell me who you invited.
Whoops.
I invited Essie, Ignacy, and Okoro.
Perfect. Arc.
Art left all of his invites on the table one night, and so if anyone wanted to invite 4 people, he basically gave like 1 to each person. 1 to each. He's not inviting anyone basically.
Hey, Brum.
Okay, and Habram, tell.
Also, as a reminder, Tal technically has 5 invites because Arafay gave you 2 of hers.
Yeah. Okay. Tal would invite Miriyama, Chizire.
You don't have to do all 3 or 5. And just
No. But Essie would get a second one. And then if I had another, you said I had 5?
Yeah, because I gave you 2 of my 3.
Dang.
This was when Arafay thought we were inviting more people than just our friends.
Yeah.
Genetima's
would
like
send-
intimate ceremony. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
would then send 2 more to Jazire and with attached notes saying, the first one saying, I know you already got an invitation, but I wanted to make it really clear that I wanted you there. And then a third one saying, if you don't want to go, that's fine, but it would be really cool if you came.
A third one that says, I know you said it was okay if you didn't come, but if you don't show up, I'm just gonna...
I'm gonna be sad.
I
sad.
know where you sleep.
I do. I know where his room is.
And Arafay.
Well, she would invite Noxolo, but when the second one shows up from Arc, she will also invite Strands of Glowing Dawn.
Perfect. Okay, so signing all of these NPCs' death warrants by
Let's
bringing
go.
them to
You
Hey,
stop
they
it.
all
This is your
know.
fault.
They all
This is
know
all your fault.
magic, so it's fine. They're all
yes.
students here, and it's fine. They're
Who
gonna
did
prove
Hideaki
themselves.
invite?
Hey,
Oh,
everybody else.
Pretty much everybody else. Yeah. Essie, Ignacy, Okoro, and Habram.
It's really
Did
funny
we invite
because-
Anchor Root?
No.
Nope.
Nobody likes Anchor or Benji.
Listen, Benji's probably working, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's-
I think it's really funny because we're like, oh, you're all jealous of us. Come watch us graduate.
Yep. Exactly. That is perfect.
Okay, Essie, Chizire, Noxolo, Okoro, Habram, Ignacy.
Oh, I'll actually send
Miriyama.
the one that I was gonna send to Essie. I will send to Anchor Root because it makes more sense that Tal
Yeah.
would send it to Anchor Root than Essie.
Got it.
The gang's all here.
Now Anchor
Okay, it's all here.
Root's definitely dead.
Oh, for sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay. So, it is the morning or day or time of the ceremony. And you all get told, however, through whatever the previous day's classes are, at some point you get told that this ceremony will be held at Whistle Tower. And interestingly, this is not a location that you have been to before. It is on campus, and if you are on Roll20 and see the map, it is should be labeled. Let me know if it's not being shown in
I'm
any
still
way.
on
We're
the,
not on the map.
the lion fight.
We're on.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying I have to bring you with me?
We're saying
that
you
how
have
that
to
works?
do
What?
work.
Let's do that then. Here you go.
The hababe.
Building.
I love you,
All
Maria.
right.
I love you so much.
Hababe.
So, Whistle Tower is not that far away from the Spire Dormitory. It is close to the center of campus, and it is a long, tall building. It's a tower. The reason that none of you have been to Whistle Tower or have held classes at Whistle Tower is because there is no way that you see in to Whistle Tower. Who here, I'd say, y'all can make a society check for me to see who here may have heard about Whistle Tower.
Yes, please.
25.
Oh,
18.
I rolled a 1 for 8.
Let's go.
Great.
26.
Okay. So I will say, basically everybody but Arafe knows Whistle Tower's purpose on campus, which is, it is a signaling, warning, defensive mechanism of the Magaambya. It is a space from which alarms sound if the Magaambya is under attack, and such security measures. The ones that have rolled higher than a 20 also are aware that there are rooms in the Whistle Tower, but there is no door on the ground floor. And the only way to get into Whistle Tower is to somehow fly or otherwise magical means to get in.
Hang glide.
Hang glide. Not quite. So, aware of this, I'm sure perhaps a little curiosity piqued as y'all are like, oh, we're having a ceremony there. How are we going to get in there? You head over to Whistle Tower. There, at the base of Whistle Tower, is Genatimo, awaiting you all. Smiles and welcomes you all forward. Hello, very soon to be Conversants. How's everybody doing this morning? Is everybody ready?
I think so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Arafe
All
double
right.
checks that she has her staff. Yeah, good to go.
Who all, I know we are all cute and fancy right now as players. Who has dressed up for this occasion? I'm just curious.
Tal may have a little bit. She's probably wearing maybe something that she usually wears pretty loose clothes. But she might be wearing something that's slightly more fitted, still in pretty deep gem tones. Maybe swapped out a couple of the scarves. More specific pieces of jewelry. But
It's just a little like touched
still,
up, so to speak.
yeah, still looks fairly close to the same. They also do have a staff that they've had kind of the whole time, but they never use it. It's been tucked away in their stuff for a really long time. But they do also have one that's very painted very nicely and has ribbons and like leather wrappings around it.
You got the mentalist staff recently, is it not that?
No, but it can be now.
You did get the mentalist staff from the
just
stuff that just recently happened. So we'll just say it's
cool.
that one.
It's there. It is.
Perfect. Anybody else?
No different.
Okay.
Ark is in his same exact clothes, same exact prestidigitation form, like pure clean,
Okay.
pure ironed, etc., etc.
Love it.
Ari is wearing her normal stuff because of the fact that she is anticipating a fight because of track record.
Correctamundo.
But she is also wearing the earrings she bought from Teacher Ott's wife.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and Hideaki, did you?
Oh, that I think I accidentally hit the button. I will say though that because typically he his clothes are like pressed though.
Yeah. Like a little just put together, but not. It's the same clothes as always. Okay. Maybe Ark, Ark, can you prestidigitate my clothes, please? Can you unwrinkle them?
He has precipitation now, remember?
Okay.
I don't think
I'm
Hideaki would
actually-
ever ask Ark for help.
I'm actually gonna take
not in
this
that case.
opportunity to say that Arafe is now wearing the clothes she's wearing in the new art.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Let's go. I love it.
Because we've never
okay.
really said that started happening, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
No.
Oh, that's
Yes,
true. Yeah,
got
yeah,
some
It is
yeah.
done.
in the past 2 weeks after everything.
It is done.
You went and got some new clothes, and you're showcasing the cool earrings from Niana.
Conservant clothes. Conversant.
Conversant, yes. No, I never. Literally, I
it's
always get it.
conversant.
It's conversant.
Yeah, I
it's
backwards it.
conversant. I always backwards it too, so it'll be both for a while. Okay, so one by one, Teacher Genetimo pulls out scrolls and casts fly on each one of you.
Fuck yeah.
And with fly, one by one, you're able to go up to one of the, and it's taller than the little caps of on the sides of the spire dormitory, spire dormitory. It's a little taller than the spires on the spire dormitory, and you can go up, and you're at first you're like, is there an entrance up here somewhere? Because from the ground floor you don't see anything, but from where Teacher Genetimo was standing, and you go straight up, you see a little archway entrance in this otherwise smooth stone tower, and you're able to land and step in. Stepping in, the atmosphere in this lavishly decorated room in Whistle Tower is congenial and lively. There's people talking in several groups with, you overhear little tidbits. It's about magic and politics, philosophy, education, and more. But in the center of the room is a large round table, and it is laden with food. As you all kind of step in, waiting for each other and kind of gathering together, you overhear Chizire looking over as you enter Tal, and it just kind of gives a lazy smile, and he goes, "Smart. But it's in the middle of the room," and he points to the table. In case any more giant bugs crash through the walls, that is.
Hideaki just nods with a big smile. Kind of like a sigh.
And there, a little bit after, Genetimo lands behind you and kind of claps his hand to gather the attentions of everybody and motions everyone else to find their seats. You see the people that you have invited are all gathered here, as well as Teacher Ott. His wife, Niana, has joined. There is Karide, and generally any of your teachers. Teacher Zuma is there as well. Some of the people that you have encountered with. Teacher Lissetti is not there. But as everybody finds their seats, and you all are motioned to find your seats as well, but he kind of leads you to the front-ish row. Near one side of the wall, there is like a little, not so much a stage, just like a little bit of a clearing area that is clearly looks to be like, okay, this is where people are going to be talking. And he says, "Friends, I am glad that you have all made it here to mark the growth of several of our students. They have proven that their studies don't register in their minds as mere theory or academic exercise, but as a force that they can use to influence the world at large, and in turn, be influenced by it. Magic is not a tool we use, but a living thing that we experience and embody. Becoming a conversant means that these students take this understanding and expertise out into the world. But before we welcome them officially, I'd love to have each of our advancing students tell you for themselves what is the best use of their magic out in the world. And he looks at the four of you. And if anybody kind of meets his eye, he will gesture to them to start and to begin.
Hideaki will absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. And I think he catches your eye and he steps right aside and invites you up to stand next to him.
And just a quick point of order. Overnose is not manifested currently. So he stands up or over to where Jonatimo motioned. Makes a point to kind of scan everyone for a second. And there's a sizzle of familiar electricity on his fingers. I believe my magic, as with many things, started small. A spark. When I was little, I used to dream of swords and armor and battle and being a hero, hoping one day for an adventure like that would find me in my little remote Kitsune town. Then, one day, after the 14th time my dad asked me to keep out of his study, I found this book. And he reaches into his robes and produces a small blue tome. This tome of arcane spells. In that moment, a whole new world opened for me. Years later, after that spark of potential became this ember of drive, the protector of my home, a dragon stuck in the astral sea, chose to see my potential and hunger for knowledge, and now we share the inferno of a bond nigh unimaginable to most people. But we are not most people, and its form flickers, and there's this porcelain kitsune mask that appears in front of him, and he's suddenly baked in a silvery light, and where there was once one tail, behind him is now two. This may be part of my story, but there are many others like it out there waiting to be discovered. I believe magic is what binds those stories together and makes them real. Magic can also reveal our true selves and all the possibilities of what we can do. It is beautiful, powerful, and dangerous. Considering where we live and what we do here at the Magaambya, it's easy to take that for granted. He takes out a small piece of parchment and it ignites in fire and flame. And he stares at it and kind of brings it in front of him. It can also be used as a tool to support us as we learn to let go of the muck and shit that holds us back. It is through magic that we teach, show, and understand our world as we unlock its mystery, its wonder, and its danger. But also, as it extinguishes and he just crumples it into dust. What happens up here, as he points to his forehead, and what happens in here, pointing at his heart, can help you do magical things, take you to magical places, helping people and bringing them hope, opening new worlds for them. I plan to represent that hope for people, to remind them that their imagination can become real. My magic helps me do that. His form flickers again a second time, and this time in a small shockwave of golden energy that surrounds him, a third tail appears. Where men, where Hisni, which is once again draconic for the future is bright, and the future is ours.
The room erupts in applause. And you hear Habram loudly, over the crowd, way too loud, just goes, here, and just is like, woo! And Okoro is like just clapping super hard. Okoro like jumps up onto his feet, like clapping, and realizes nobody else is, and he like quickly sits back down. And you kind of looking at the crowd, see Essie leaning in and just absorbing, but there is not the usual stony kind of expression of intensity. It is intense, but it is also, her eyes just are a little wider as she you can tell got taken in by your words. Teacher Ott is smiling proudly. Niana is clapping along. Genetimo is smiling and nodding next to you, and claps you on the shoulder and says, "Well done. That was beautiful."
Thanks. Oh, I suppose I should move over now.
And instead of having you sit down, he kind of guides you to just stand on next to him on the other side, as you make way. And he looks down at the three of you.
Arafe's like looking down, adamantly
like,
trying
avoiding.
to avoid eye contact.
Ark already has trouble making eye contact.
So I would say, Tal, he probably locks eyes with you.
The Oji would hear Tal let out a little sigh, because who can follow up that? But they take
I
a
think
couple.
almost seeing that transition a little bit, like seeing that like hesitation. He nods to you to kind of let you know that, like, make your way up. And I think kind of, I'm trying to think of a way that this doesn't come off as a negative, but I think Genetimo kind of addressing the room says, we are a wide variety of people, and everyone's walks of lives will be different. And for joy and enthusiasm, there are times of hardship and times of distress. And I think no one can represent overcoming some of those trials like Taliatia.
I never thought that my magic was my own. It was something that I thought needed to be earned. It was a gift. It was not mine. But, and they turn to look towards Miriama and towards Chizire. Recently, I've really learned that my fate is my own and is in my own hands. I want magic and my magic to be used to protect the people that I care about. I hope that one day it can also be used to bring about a more positive change to the world, or to at least inspire someone to do something great someday. There's still much that I need to learn, but I at least know that I am on the right path now.
Everyone begins to clap as well, but Mariama kind of like almost inappropriately, like before the claps even begin, like it's like as it's beginning, she goes, "You inspire me!" like way too loudly as well. And like people, like everyone, like turns to look at her, and she's just like, don't look at me, go clap at her. And like everybody like claps. But she like flashes you like the biggest grin. And as the applause picks up, maybe perhaps because your ears are attuned to it, and you kind of are looking over at Chizire and Mariama in those directions, you do hear Chizire kind of give like a whistle in with everybody else that kind of like filters into the crowd. It doesn't kind of go cut above it, but you definitely didn't hear that before. So definitely getting some direct support from the people that you invited. And I think you also see like Anchor Root. And the way I imagine this room, it is a lavishly decorated room. There is a large table laden with food in the middle, but it's also not seats. There's like colorful cushions and things that are arranged throughout the floor, where people are sitting. And it is like an intimate setting. It is far less like a hall, the way the like Tireless Hall was. and like Anchor Root is kind of sitting in the corner, probably next to Habram, but you see her like eyes wide, almost similar to how Essie's reaction to Hideaki's speech, but she's like staring at you, and you catch just like the glint of like kind of like tears welling in her eyes, and you think that's something you said kind of definitely hit home to a little bit of what Anchor Root would wish for as well. And kind of clapping alongside and ushering you to stand next to Hideaki, he looks towards the next two.
Ark will glance at Arafe for a second, and then
And she's gonna glance back at you.
and assuming Arafe doesn't like make any motion, Ark's gonna make a motion to go up.
Okay.
Like right during that pregnant pause, is like Tal like comes to like right next to Hideaki. Shit, should I come last? I'm so sorry. That was like weird, awkward. My bad.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It was a good speech.
He kind of gives you like a side hug.
And
She returns
Genetimo
it.
begins. Oh. Genetimo begins to sort of transition again from the one to the next speech, and goes, now, in regards to different perceptions and worldviews, I think Ark here is one who amazes me every day from their own unique perspective, and a very important reminder to us all that there is no one right way to view the world. Ark?
Art just kind of like stands there for a second, probably a little too long of a pause for before starting a speech, and then goes, well, for me, magic is just another thing to do. It is my physical power, much like my social power that I lack. Magic is just another thing that gives me a broader spectrum to choose from. He like sits there for like 2-3 long seconds. But the thing with magic is it's more like an infinite ladder than anything else you can use. And then he just takes a step down. Probably before anyone can start clapping.
And the whole room claps as well. Though perhaps you notice there's no one person that loudly or enthusiastically cuts over the crowd, but it is just a room full of applause. And now. Muted.
Helps if I turn it back on.
Somebody cast silence.
Yeah, shit. Well, no speech from me. Arafe, noticing that she cannot longer put this off anymore, she starts to move forward, and you all can see her like pull a piece of paper out of her arm wrappings, and she unfolds it, and you can see her start like look at it, and then she's gonna look over at you three, and she's gonna scrunch it up. I want to use my power to heal people, to cure disease and bring hope to the sick and injured. She'll look at the paper. That's what I'm supposed to say. That's the easy answer. The one born of the gift that I was given and molded into. The expected answer. And while that's an honorable and needed use of my magic in the world, it's also very limited in its vagueness. I was sent to the Magaambya, burdened with expectation. But I've seen that so were my... And she looks at Ark. Companions. Expectations to fulfill the goals of our mentors, of our family, our village, our grantors of power and life. And I find these expectations limiting. Like shackles getting in the way of forward motion. In my friends and cohorts, I found strength that I didn't know that I have, and yes, I plan to do the expected, because it's needed. Because it's a benefit to the greater good. But I've also found fulfillment in being a protector. This world is much more dangerous than my village ever prepared me for. My parents tried. And people need protection from those dangers. I'll never call up a dragon. I'm never going to enter a magical cascade, and I can't call forth the powers of fate. But what I can do is protect the ones that do. And maybe allow them to fight and protect us longer and harder than they could before. And she's just gonna go, like, shuffle back and stand next to Ark.
The room explodes in applaud. I don't know how it would make Ark react, but it is, if one were to be comparing, perhaps one that felt a little bit louder than yours, Ark. And not in a way of better, just in a way of perhaps Ark kind of noticed, like, whatever it is, they seem to connect and understand it more.
I think like in Ark's mind and brain, it's very similar to what they were talking about, honestly, is like everyone has pillars to stand on: physical power, social power, etc., and he knows that his answer was probably the weakest because he is the worst at talking.
Yep. Which is not, by the way, and for clarity, that is not me, Syrup, saying that was like, I loved it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
purpose. This is different. And I think Arafe, as you kind of shuffle, perhaps a little bit like embarrassed to make eye contact, one of the first things you do see as you kind of look up is Noxolo, who is sitting kind of cross-legged on one of the pillows and leaning back on her snaggle. I forget. Is it snaggle? I always forget.
Snafu.
Yes.
It's Snaggle, because I keep wanting calling it Snapple.
Me too. Okay, good. It's snaggle. And which is, you, that back corner of your brain wonders how Snaggle got up here too. But
I don't
regardless,
question it.
yeah. And you see them kind of just watching you, and then as soon as you kind of, your eyes make contact, they give you a huge warm smile, and so authentic that you feel just, that was good from them. But glancing around, you see Habram, though not as loudly cheering as he was for Hideaki, very, very earnestly kind of leaning forward and clapping really hard and like nodding at you. You see Anchor Root is also sort of leaning forward, and it, something about kind of, you were sitting down, so perhaps you didn't see everyone's reactions necessarily for everybody else's speeches, but Hideaki and Tal, who have been watching at least a minimum 2 speeches before you, you all notice how many lean forward and really find some of those words hitting home to them. And maybe Arafe does not realize it, but you do, and you realize the importance of their words. Janatimo steps forward. Thank you, each of you, thank you for showing us where your understanding begins. I look forward to seeing how your understanding deepens and evolves as a conversant. And at those words, the whole room erupts again into cheers and applause, and some step up and kind of like start rushing in. And where perhaps there was jealousy from Essie before, she gets caught up in the cheering and kind of rushing over to you. Noxolo comes up to you, Erife, gives you a hug. Habrum's clapping you on the back, Hideaki. Even Chazira is coming up to you, Tal, with a smile, offering you some food that he had found at the table that was great. Mariama's
Chazira
like,
lets me, I'm going to hug him very tightly.
absolutely, and he's holding the food, but then like you kind of run into him, and he has like the one free hand that he does hug around you, and maybe kind of as you hug him, you hear a little soft exhale of breath in a smile, and Mariama's like immediately like kind of over the top of both of you, like immediately like squeezing you in as well, and Ark, because people would like Okoro comes up and is just like knows that he doesn't like shake your hand necessarily or doesn't hug you necessarily, but goes to kind of like reach out to shake your hand, like good job, and Ignacy, who's perhaps like as everybody kind of rushes forward, if Ark takes a step to the side to avoid the massive crowd, you also find Ignacy there, who just smiles and nods at you.
Yeah, for the most part, Art gives like his little half bow, and like if someone goes to shake his hand, he like politely puts a hand up in like a wave to let them know like, no, I'm not shaking hands, but like thanks.
Amazing.
And yeah, eventually he'll take a step to the side, and when Ignacy's there, he just like makes eye contact and like kind of nods.
And I think Ignacy, kind of seeing like the crowd go that way and you go the other way, takes another step to kind of like around the this circular room, grabs another drink off the table, and kind of just goes to hand it to you, in a sort of silent, comfortable, we'll wait over here while the crowd's over there.
Yeah, he'll take it and just stand.
I think and the melee of the moment, like Hideaki just takes a moment to like close his eyes and just drink it like in with like a big like inhale and exhale.
I
and then
attack
like
while he has a blinded condition.
Hell yeah, flat-footed.
Fucking got him. And then I think eventually like his excitement overwhelms him and he goes, "Let's fucking go!"
Amazing. From my perspective as Syrup the GM, that was so good, guys. Holy crap, all your speeches
didn't
are fabulous.
Die!
You
Let's
didn't
go.
die.
We're still in here. We're still in here.
We
haven't left.
We're sitting
The
ducks.
night is still happening.
Hear me out. When you said at the very end, when you said, and you begin looking around and seeing a lot of, I was like, bugs coming through the wall.
A lot of leshies sprouting through the tree.
Stone
So-
Ghost emerges from the wall.
Right.
At this point, people stay to chat and eat for another, hour or two. Is there, at some point, Genatimo does ask to speak to you for a few minutes privately. But, throughout this time before he does so, is there anything anybody would like to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Me next.
I would like to go get 2 drinks, walk up to Hideaki, and say, "Can we talk?"
Of course.
Is there like a balcony situation?
Yeah, it's interesting. So not quite. Sorry, coughing. Okay, you good? Thumbs up. Okay. So you because this is not so much like, this is not usually where they host ceremonies, and it does strike you that like they actually did this for safety and they made it a
Yeah,
smaller
definitely.
HMS ceremony for safety.
Love that. I
Yeah.
love
So
that.
not quite. The way it kind of works is like there's that archway in which you step forth, which does have a door which has been like opened, and I'm gonna say there's this like kind of circular hallway outside of the center room. So you
Okay.
can step out of the room before you step out of like the front door into nothing, and you can kind of maybe circle around a little bit.
Perfect. I will lead us out and around
Yeah.
just slightly. And I think they would have handed you a drink before inviting you elsewhere.
Sure.
And I think there's a little, not a pregnant pause or anything like that, but just a little bit of stillness. And they turn back and raise their glass towards you to graduating again.
Yep. 2 out of 3, 4, 2 out of sure, whatever. Clinks a glass to you.
I was really thinking about the last time we had a party like this, celebration like this, and I was not the one who was dragging you out to talk. I'm not going to confess my love to you. Just want to make that perfectly clear.
Damn. He just gives you a wink.
But I think it's important for me to say that I have been a little stuck lately. And I think I have unfairly taken it out on people. And I've been unfair and mean towards you in particular. And I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
He just kind of
That's it.
sighs. You know, you're not the only one that's been probably unfair. That paper burning wasn't exactly symbolic.
What do you mean?
Given where I think that we're headed, I realized over the last few weeks that there's a lot of things that I just need to let go of. So we'll see if that sticks. It was a long list, like 12 things.
Ah.
But I also think the oddness of the fact that the last time I felt this good was I don't want this to hurt your feelings. It was right before we talked. Winning the tournament. But also that it's good to know that I can get back to feeling this good. And though you're not professing your love to me, and I'm not professing love to you, I still think you're pretty damn special.
I think you are too. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that. Did you see how Essie was looking at you?
No? What do you mean?
Tal just takes a drink.
I just thought it was just regular, like, yay, good speech, Hideaki. No?
I don't claim to be well versed in the ways of romance or feelings, but I don't know. I mean, don't outright go profess your love to her right now, but
Yeah, it worked really well for me before, so.
yeah, maybe I don't know. Ask her. Maybe get to know her a little better. See if there is something there.
Cool.
Who knows? She
There's
might
also
be.
like other people too that I'm kind of
There's
like.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Which other people?
I mean, like Ignacy.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Ignacy?
Plan B. I invited them, so I was going to. Yeah. That's. Hopefully, I can make that happen. Conversation. I also owe them an apology. It's a lot.
Well, it sounds like you have a busy night ahead of you. Of conversations and apologies and delicately probing questions.
Does it have to be delicate all the time? Okay,
Not all the time.
I should know better by now. But how are you feeling?
I'm strangely okay. And a lot more confident than I thought I was going to be 2 weeks ago. About doing more, being more sure of, I don't know, me, I guess. Outside of all of you. And I don't know. I feel good.
That's nice. That's good. I kind of feel the same way. I think that's really the crux of it. Is I really needed something like this. I feel like I was, to use your phrase, kind of stuck too. Now I'm just like a rocket ready to be shot out of a cannon.
Just be careful where that rocket is pointed.
And you kind of elbows you. That's what I need someone like you for.
I won't always be around, Hideaki.
What does that mean?
That means you might be by yourself with your rocket primed, and you might be by yourself and I won't be there.
No, please say that one line over again. Just what? No,
no,
okay.
No.
Take
Clip
two.
that. Someone clip that. Clip it.
Clip it. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, too late. It's already been clipped.
What I mean is, there might be situations where you won't have anyone else to rely on. And if you are all spark and fire and power and forward, but all you do is run into a wall because you're not looking at where you're going, just keep it in mind. Delicate conversation and clear vision are two things that can be very useful.
Kind of near that moment, you hear in your head, well, that's why you have me. We have each other.
I think with a smile. I also have this guy. It just kind of like points to no, not me. You know, you know what I
figured.
Heard, absolutely heard. But at the same time, give yourself a little more credit. I learned a lot from you. And, you know, just like you like to remind me sometimes that we're inside of a tree. Well, I want to throw fire at stuff. All I'm saying is don't minimize your own impact on other people. You certainly made an impact on me. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
I think that
I'll
is
end by giving a big
Oh
hug.
yeah, big fucking hug.
as
And
the
then-
two of them hug, the scene kind of fades back inside the party room, to a side, like honestly by a wall where there's a little less of a crowd, where Ignacy is leaning against a wall, standing by Ark. And kind of watching you, observant as always, Ignacy goes, "You don't like being in crowds, do you?"
No, it is harder to pay attention to what is going around.
I can understand that.
Do you like being away from crowds?
Yes. Crowds carry unpredictability, and it is hard, like you said, to keep eyes everywhere at once. Increases the chances of unpleasant surprises.
Yes. I do agree.
Would you like to step outside?
Sure.
Please be right
Uh,
as telling Hideaki you're walking back inside for the love of God.
Oh, you can't pass up the opportunity
Let's have
of
the
like
tea
mentioning
off
that.
of it.
One's
Past
coming
each
in
other like
one door,
ships
the
in the
other is
night.
going out the other door.
Let's go.
Ignacy sees Hideaki and goes, grabs Ark's
and
hand.
Yes, it is.
I think, have you at any point tonight before, like just at any point, Ark grabbed any food off the table?
No.
Okay. So he grabs like another, like in one hand, a couple drinks, hands them over to you to like hold, and grabs like a quick plate of food of whatever is on the table. Not like serving it to like a small like plate, like he just grabs like one of the things and it's just like, well, this is mine now.
Yeah.
And grabs it, and nods to you to like head over to the door. And I think, go ahead.
Ark will grab one of the drinks and then mage hand the other to like, one, not touch Ignacy's drink, and two, like have a hand free.
Yeah. That's really cool. Speaking of using magic. And I think I actually do like that as Hideaki and Tal enter from one side of the room, of this circular room. If you would like to both make me perception checks to see if you catch Ignacy and Ark stepping out the other side.
I shit you not. Natural 20.
Do I need to roll? Who's rolling?
You would, if you want to.
Me?
If you,
Ah!
yeah.
So sorry. 9.
Okay. So Hideaki and Tal
And
walk
thumbs
back
up.
into the room. Tal like almost immediately getting like waved
Oh,
down
It was
by
16, my bad.
Mariama or
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
But Hideaki, you kind of step in and uncannily your eyes go straight across, directly across, and people are just out of the way enough as you watch the colorful blue hair of Ark turn around the door, followed by Ignacy.
You know that meme where like that black guy is just like, like there's just like has like that that like inquisitive like pouty face. Like I think like his like facial expression is one of like, huh? Hmm? That's
And stepping out, the loud sort of din of conversations and chatter and clinking of dishes fades a little bit as you round the corner. And I think it's just one of those areas. It's a wide-ish hallway. Ignacy kind of goes around just a little bit before stopping, just enough for the sound to quiet down a little bit, and then just kind of plops down in the hallway, sitting cross-legged, like leaning up against one wall. Motions for you to join him.
Ark will join him.
Kind of sitting down.
Sorry, I was just gonna say kind of sits down, but cross-legged.
Yeah, I think. Are you sitting across from him, or are you sitting next to him?
Does he have his back to a wall?
Yes.
Then Ark will sit with his back to a wall as well.
Across or next to?
Is there a way to do it across? I was thinking next, but
yeah, you can do sort of like staggered, so you're like just a little,
okay.
Next
Then
to
Ark would do that, like staggered, where he's not right in front of Ignacy, but still has a back to the wall, etc., etc.
Putting the plate of food like nearby and redistributing the drinks. He kind of just looks at you. So why don't you like crowds?
Because not crowds are better.
No traumatic past experiences with crowds?
They're just loud.
Are you sensitive to sound?
Maybe. I mean, loud sounds don't bother me, but a lot of sounds do.
I liked your speech.
Thank you. You'll be making one soon.
I will. Kind of like looks at you and nods, like, and you see when you say that, like he like watches you very closely for any signs of like, are you sarcastic? Are you, is there something behind that? And then when he doesn't see that, he sort of sighs and like rests his head back against the stone. You really always mean what you say.
Doesn't everybody?
No. And it's refreshing. But it's so off-putting too. I suppose that's a me problem though.
Yes.
You said you were 5, I suppose 6 years old now?
Yes, I imagine 6. I did not celebrate, but yes.
But you're not. Well, I suppose. Do you know others like you?
No. I do not.
You certainly hold more knowledge than someone who's been in the world for 6 years. Do you know where that knowledge comes from?
Is that true?
You've seen children. Human, elven. You've seen children of any kind out in the city.
If you were born as a blank slate, not a child, but a blank slate as an adult, what could you learn in 6 years?
How to eat with a fork and knife. He kind of scoffs. How to read. How many languages do you know?
Give me 1 second.
Cracks open the old character sheet.
92.
All of the above.
Somewhere around 10.
I'd expect, at most, a blank slate at 5 or 6 years would know 1 or 2.
Well, by that knowledge, then another 5 or 6 and 30-year-olds should only know 5 languages.
Most people, I suppose. I mean, if that's what they wanted to do, to learn languages, but I mean, there's people that live their whole lives with just one.
But it's more useful to have more.
It is. But people aren't optimal a lot of the time. They don't need to be.
And he kind of does a wry smile and quotes Ignacy and says, "That is a them problem."
It is. And he kind of chuckles back.
Can I...
So where does it come from? Oh,
Sorry. It comes from learning. My creator, Iska, made me, but helped me learn as well as a teacher and now to school. May I ask you a question?
yes.
How old are you?
Well, you
Let's
see.
go.
More than 6. Less than 30,
Let's-
probably.
Yeah, let's put him at like.
Put the
Goodness.
GM on the spot. Let's go.
I know.
Let's go. Also,
For
what's all the
context,
NPC's
Tao is
name
24.
Yeah, he's probably like 23 or something like that.
In your... Does he answer that? Like 23?
Yeah.
In your, let's say 12 years, once you became less of a child, how much time do you believe you have wasted?
Wasted.
Not pursuing something optimal.
Sometimes it feels like 23 years.
Art gives a little nod to the side. I believe I haven't wasted a day.
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
It could be.
He kind of like sits there in a comfortable silence for a little bit. And grabs like breaks off a piece of the food. Noms on it. I'm here to learn. Not just magic, as you said, a useful tool. I'm here to learn how a school like this, so diplomatically relationed with many different governments, how it does so successfully. I'm here to learn how to talk and do the things that get me into a position of power to make a difference. I don't think I can do it all with magic, though.
It depends what you want to lean on. I believe if you were imagine if you were the strongest magic wielder in the entire world. Do you think you could do what you wanted?
No.
Why?
Being the most powerful magic user in the entire world would mean I have enemies. And they get in the way. I'd have eyes on me, I'd have people watching me. It is sometimes easier to move about with less eyes.
To me, it sounds like the biggest thing holding you back is yourself.
perhaps from other expectations. I don't know if Arc really has expectations when it comes to social interactions, but I'd say there's some back of the mind of like sometimes when you say things like this, people react badly. Ignacy kind of looks down, doesn't have as big of a reaction as you'd expect, and goes, I know.
The only reason I say that is because I believe you and I are on equal levels. And I saw Duval's fist. I was waiting on that.
All of us smirked, every single one of us.
There were two levels of that. There were people who were like, really? And like, oh, dip. Arc sees an equal.
I believe
am
you and I
better.
are on equal levels, yet you shoot down every idea that could further yourself. Want to be the strongest magic user? No, that won't help me. I can't have enemies, so I shouldn't talk to as many people. Let me stay away from crowds. Maybe I'll go talk to Art. 'Cause he's safe? You're not going to learn how to talk better being out here.
No, you're right. No, I'm not out here to learn to talk better, Arc. Kind of smiles at you.
Art misses it and says, then why?
Kind of leans forward a little bit, gathers his legs under him. Because you're not like other boys I know. And he kind of like moves to get up, smiles at you, and it's a warm smile. Take care of yourself with whatever nonsense you're going to be doing as a conversant. And if you need someone on your level, you know where I am.
And if you need someone to chase after, you know where I am.
And I think he just shakes his head with a laugh and kind of leaving the plate of food over there and with whatever drink is in his hand, turns and walks back inside.
I'm dying from everyone's reaction.
Waffles, you know what you did.
I'm just
That's not what Art meant.
No, I said waffles, you know what you did.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Sorry, I was throwing down a double real
It
quick.
was-
My bad.
Real good.
Are we all pirates? Because we be shipping.
Mm?
As the wonderful Kitty Crafter says, there's wind in these sails.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah, Ark will just watch him get up and then probably sit outside alone for a little while.
All right. And the camera goes back inside. Is there anything? And you do not have to feel no pressure, Arafe.
In all honesty, Arafe was going to go talk to Arc, but when she sees Arc leaves, she's just gonna let them go.
Mm-hmm. And I think after a bit, you do see Ignacy come back inside, and Arc does not.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not trying to steal another scene, but Ark was going to talk to Arafe if Ignacy's scene didn't happen. So, but right now he's outside alone.
Do it. Chase it. Go. Do it. Start. Do it.
There is this moment where Arafe has two minds right now. Arafe has the one she's been and the person she knows she was. So there is that moment of Arc's doing something else, not a big deal. But I think she will, after a little bit, head outside to talk to Arc.
Okay. And I think for a second, like you walk out, and it's this like curving tower, so it's like you kind of look to your right, and then you're not sure, like, okay, left, right, and then you see like the edge of like a foot or a knee, and you're like, oh, okay, catch him and manage to find him a little bit around the corner.
So she'll just kind of walk over. She's not gonna. She'll approach, but she knows Arx kind of likes their space. So from a distance, she'll go, "You all right?"
Yes, I believe so. It is quiet out here.
There's a lot of people in there.
Are you okay?
Yes, honestly. I very much hate public speeches, to be honest, so that was terrifying.
Was it public if we only spoke to the people we invited?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about you. I invited 2 people.
I left
So
my
the rest
invites on the
were-
table.
I saw I had one all of a sudden. I guess I assumed Tal gave me one back, but must have been yours.
Yes, I did not invite anybody.
Why not?
Well, the 3 I would have invited were already coming.
Okay. I kind of see that. I was going to invite one person who I thought outside the group, and I had a second one, so I invited another, but yeah, the group are the people who are important to me.
Yes. Do you want to sit down? Ignacy was much more comfortable sitting down.
She looks at her white pants and goes, "Sure." At least I think they're white. I don't remember anymore. Anyway, so she will settle on down next to Ark. So are you excited to finally be moving on?
It's just the next step. What do you mean by excited?
Arafe is now realizing again, you have used emotional words. I'll be honest, Ark, sometimes I don't know how to ask you things that simply because I don't think it's hard for me to think differently. Sometimes. So
Me too.
Are you satisfied with the direction we're going? She says, trying to find a different word.
Yes. It's going as expected.
I didn't think we'd get here this fast.
Oh, I did. And if not, then if it took another 6 months, that might go as expected. There's no plan. There's no 1 year, 2 year plan looking into the future. I can't imagine that far.
Really?
But when I find myself here, I say, yes, that makes sense.
I have to be honest, I think the reason that I feel we're going quickly, but I think a lot of that is because of you.
Probably.
She does laugh at that.
Could you make me a perception check?
Yes!
I love this.
Where the fuck is there it is, okay. It's been a while. Natural 20 for a 29.
Yes.
I think under the other side of his hair, you see this
Mhm.
like slightest gold shimmer.
What's that?
What?
You have a new color emerging. There's like a gold.
He'll lift his hair up, and there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Sorry, did you say there was nothing there or there is something there?
Nothing.
there.
It's gone. Interesting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe it was just a
Did you see her? Possibly. But I did in a roundabout way. Weird turn in conversation, but I did want to thank you. I really do think I've gotten this far because of you.
Sure. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm sure I've gotten this far because of you.
Maybe. You have, Ark, I say this in the nicest way possible. You make me uncomfortable, and that's a good thing.
Okay.
I'm very used to people agreeing, thinking that I'm doing things the right way, and you force me to think differently.
Well, if
And
you
I
don't,
think that's helped me a lot.
sure. If you don't think differently, you'll never do better.
True. That is very true.
I do it.
But
I do it to myself constantly.
how so?
Every line that I say to you or Tal or Hideaki, 15 of those go across my mind for myself. I just pick which one I think is right.
When you say is right,
Optimal.
what optimal?
The best for the situation that has arisen.
A voice next to you, Arafe, goes,
Keep
optimal for
forgetting
what
she's-
outcome?
Out loud.
Yeah, she can't talk to me in my brain.
Okay.
Every time she talks, you all can hear her.
You actually see Ark's eyes like light up a little. And he turns to Yafira and says, well, if it's my decision for my outcome.
I mean, okay.
But it goes differently for each person. What is your outcome?
Who are you talking to?
Yafira. He's like turned to Yafira at this point.
Depends on the situation, but I mean, keeping Arafe alive. But in terms of conversation,
You could say,
to get my point across, I guess.
sure. He just kind of sits there for a couple of seconds, like his mind's like stuck on the keeping Arafe alive part, because that's like battle, and then trying to not talk about the conversation part, and then he turns back to Arafe and says out loud to Yafira, understood. So do you have any plans for yourself as a conversant?
No, not really. I mean, in all honesty, Lissetti has something for us to do. But long term, I don't know yet. I am just learning to get outside of the expectation that I'm supposed to do.
And what is the expectation you're supposed to do?
I'm supposed to become a great healer and return back to the village.
Says who?
Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Our village leader.
Douchebag.
Yeah, that one old dude that you brought.
Yep. Yes.
Oh my god, I'm blinking too.
I know.
It's
It's like it starts with an I. That's all I can remember. It's fine.
Infar.
Characters forget their
Infar.
Infar. Thank you. Characters
I
forget.
get
our
Infar and
stuff.
Iska confused.
Mhm. Yeah, all stuff's too close together. Infar, our village leader.
And you feel you should listen?
No. That's the problem. I've been working so long just to do what they've told me to do that I'm now trying to figure out what I want.
Is Infar stronger than you?
No.
Then don't listen.
In all honesty, I think that's what I'm gonna do. What are your plans?
To keep growing. I have no plans to get stronger.
Speaking
We
of
said
that,
no plans.
Sorry.
No.
I have no plans, period.
Yep.
To get stronger, period.
Okay.
I was about to explode in the
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
in 2 seconds.
My bad. Art's cadence got to me.
That's fine. I also wanted to apologize for the market. I didn't actually follow up with you on that one.
What about it?
When we had a slight confrontation.
And you, Waffles remembers.
Yeah,
but
she's.
yeah,
I was gonna say she's looking all of a sudden going, does he not remember?
Yeah, Waffles remembers, but you like,
Mhm.
you're like looking at him, and he's like, "Did we fight?"
We did. Do you not remember?
Well, I remember disagreeing. I would not call that a confrontation or a fight.
Ark, do you remember striking me?
Yes, with no intention to kill you.
From my point of view, Ark, you appeared angry. I know that's not how you would describe it, but you seem to not like what I was saying, and that's why I wanted to apologize, is I did that on purpose. But then you attacked me.
Ifir goes, you were pissed.
To Art.
Mhm.
You see,
Out loud.
you see him like looking up to the sky a little bit. I don't think so. I would never attack you out of anger. And he like, it's like question mark behind it.
Mm-hmm. When you did that, Ark, what did your body feel like?
It was the right thing to do.
But why?
I don't know why it is the right thing to do many things. I just do it.
Fair. Did your head feel differently because your rune started to glow before you did it?
I don't believe so. He's like kind of having trouble remembering the exact moment now. Like how he felt in the exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Arafe can kind of piece together from just watching Ark's motions of like when he speaks with confidence and when they don't. It seems like Ark is remembering the event, but there's no connection to what was very strong. Like, and I want to make sure because it also has been a while for us as players, like what was very strong emotion.
Yeah. I mean, he was at the from Waffles at the time. He was out to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's like Arafe also knows, like from her point of view, that was an emotion, but she also knows talking to Ark in emotion speak is not something he does. So she's trying to figure out how to have this conversation otherwise. But
I think I don't want to take away if you have a direction you want to go in, Star.
no, essentially she's just going to maybe we should figure it out. Maybe that's a
I think
direction we
if-
can go.
Ifira chimes in with a very blunt, as per usual, but piercing question. Do you know when you feel things?
He's like, slows it down a little. Like, I don't feel things. If I do, then I don't know. But if I don't know, then do I feel things?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Do you know when you feel things?
Yes. And they are constant and ever present.
Like hurt and hungry.
And sadness, glee, and nervousness, and all kinds of things.
Stress, frustration, annoyance.
There are times that you talk about how your body feels, and when you say that, I associate that with an emotion and a feeling. But I know I'm trying to be better about placing my perception onto what's happening to you. Like during the ceremony when you said that your chest hurt when Iska left.
Sure.
I associate that with sadness and disappointment.
But what if I also got hit in the chest?
That is true. But I also know you, and you're not ever worried about pain when you get hit in the chest. And you seemed slightly more focused on that pain.
Sure. I understand.
She kind of looks around and goes, "We have been out here for a while. I might head back in. Do you want to join me, or would you like to stay out here?"
I'll stay out here.
Good chat, Ark.
Same. And he like as you leave, he you can probably tell he feels like a little even if he doesn't know it, he feels like a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. As we walk in, though, you make a perception check for me.
Yes! Two can play at that game!
I'm
Who?
not very good at
Who
this.
is?
Ark.
Who's perceiving? Okay.
Ark.
23.
As you walk in, you can just slightly hear Arafe go, "You have to be nicer to him."
Amazing.
If Ark hears that, he actually will speak up loud enough for Airfoot to hear and say, "No one needs to."
Yes, she does.
I think on that perfect note, we will go to break and come back in just a little bit to a short conversation
Battle.
with Genetimo
Yeah.
about, well, we'll find out. Welcome back. Hello. Sips tea. Literal
Sipping
sips
tea from the first half.
Is it cold? I hope it's not cold.
It's
So-
piping hot.
That's some hot tea.
I kind of
Some hot
wish
tea.
I made
My gosh,
tea
it's-
on break.
it's
Hold on.
steamy.
Let's quick go back to break so I can make tea. No, I'm kidding.
Bye, everyone.
15 minutes.
put us
15
back to
minutes.
break.
No. I'll sip my liquid death and look super cool.
Yeah, here, I'll
And
With your
I'm not going to
horns
say
and
That's
what
your
it
possible.
is.
face and
I'll ASMR for the beer.
glug 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 glug.
Oh,
Oh, hell
great.
yeah.
Pleasant.
Good, nice
Pleasant,
little
lovely.
slurp.
So good.
Great.
Content warning in delay. Okay,
Easy.
so-
Rental time.
Conversations have been had throughout the time that we have been here. But at some point throughout it, Genetimo does ask to have a quick private discussion, and he probably finds the three of you, manages to find where Ark is, and just kind of grabs the three of you out into the hallway to have a little bit of a private convo. So the three of you and Genetimo will join Ark outside. I say outside in quotes because it's in a hallway. But so kind of grabbing you all, he says, so, oh, no, he doesn't have a British accent, just kidding. He goes, so, I just wanted to take a moment, to check in with you all and have some time to explain what really Conversants are and do here in the Magaambya. So, your duties...
That would be great.
Yes. Your duties generally are that as Conversants, you now represent the Magaambya in and around Natambu. You are tasked with advancing the school's interests and helping the community. Now, I have some few tasks in mind. I know prior RFA, it sounded like teacher Lissetti had some things for you as well. So, anyone of the teachers here could be assigning you tasks. It is things that come up. It is things that we have in mind. It is things that nobody expects. It is a wide variety, and typically you just think of it as almost teacher assistants to an extent, but out into the city of Magaambya. Of Natambu. That was, sorry. So, do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer them.
What does
just...
What?
Oh, double jinx. Just trying to understand the scope. How many Conversants are at the Magaambya right now?
Let's see, we have you four. Kind of like tries to think to himself, I don't fully know. Some come in and out. Probably another handful. Maybe 7?
7 more or 7 total?
7 more.
Okay.
So 11. Does that seem small to everybody else?
No.
I'm not complaining. I'm just...
Yeah, not really.
No? Okay. Then
I mean,
that's just me then.
If I'm to understand it correctly, not everyone graduates or desires to go farther.
The Magaambya is definitely holds things in non-traditional ways. You can be not a conversant for years if you so choose, but typically those that wish to advance do make their way there. We also enter students to the Magaambya in sort of waves, you all being one initiate class, but your fellow students, and kind of like nods inside, all joined within months of each other, so, you know, waves. A lot of the recent Conversants have since graduated as well.
The lore speakers, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, that makes more sense to me now. I just wanted to understand a bit of the numbers.
What is the scope of these tasks? Kind of like in comparison to what we first did. We won't be... Will it be as...
Meaningless.
And Tal like stops and thinks for a little bit, and then you say that. Trivial as delivering letters to people around town, or?
No. Well, I suppose I should say depends, but I don't intend it as such. In the end, it is, the tasks that teachers have for you, but the intent, there's a wide variety of them that we ask, but the only commonalities are that they will test your skills and your spirits, and that they are intended to help you learn to serve others, as that is our role as the Magaambya in the city of Natambu. So, yes, delivering mail is helping others, but I don't quite see it as testing your spirits, so I, for one, will not be assigning you mail delivery.
This kind of reminds me of what we were talking about the other day around sort of where the chime bringers sit, and like how there is that sort of parallel path of requests or escalation paths, I guess.
Well, chime ringers are really more a volunteer. Well, I suppose it's not fully volunteer. It is one of the avenues that the citizens of Natambu go through when they wish to protect their fellow citizens, but it is... We're not talking an army here that face outwards. Sure. That is our role to defend. It is to deal with civil disputes.
Sure. And then if maybe something magical happens, then maybe that's where we come in.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
So we are doing less busy work and more like part-time work.
More
you could look at it that way.
business work.
Meaningful, hopefully.
Unlikely.
Yes. Now, many things will remain the same. You still live in the dormitories or your newly repurposed sprout house, am I correct?
You got it.
Yes. Excellent. I, perhaps we can clear the path there and put up a proper sign. However, anyways, you still live in the dormitories or the sprout house. You will receive your regular stipend, and this work does not, and it looks at all of you, replace your usual studies. You are expected as conversants to be grounded in your studies, above all else, and balancing it with the tasks that we assign.
Can I ask a question?
Yes?
How will we go out and do jobs if we are grounded?
Maybe I can just start laughing.
Are you asking the literal definition of grounded? Or are you referring to...
Well, I'm asking the question that I asked.
You are to balance your studies with the tasks. Is that a better phrasing?
Yes, that will be easy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And there was a, like, you see, there's no, like, tone in John and Timo there.
Same from Art.
If nobody has a question for John and Timo, Hideaki is going to turn to the three of you, and like with a bit of a, not quite a sigh, but just like maybe a little bit of exasperation. So, being what we're trying to represent in this new role, I thought it might be appropriate to revisit a decision that I made that you may want to have another vote on. And that is in regards to our...
I think we can do that in the future.
The fact that Waffles purposefully went completely out of frame for y'all, but was very in frame for us. Yep. This is really good. A visual gag for all of you audio listeners.
Oh, love it. That I'm assuming Ark doesn't actually say that.
No. I just had to put that in.
Please continue.
Yeah, it was really good. No, it was really fucking good. If you wanted to revisit the name, something that better represents all of us.
You don't think we're the future of the Magaambya?
I don't.
I definitely
think so.
still do.
I think we have a future in the Magaambya, but we're... And kind of like looks over at Genetimo, but says that anyway, we're not this place. We're our own people. We might represent it, but we were people before we came here, and we will be people after we leave.
Individual futures.
That's a mouthful.
You represent the school in your tasks, but you are not the school by any means, and if you wish to leave or pursue your own careers, you are able to always do so.
Here's why I want to move away from the future as a name for our group. I don't want us to continually strive for an abstract thing. And when we're constantly just looking to the future, we're going to lose sight of what's around us.
The entire conversation that Tom Hideaki just had just washes back over. Yeah, makes sense.
Genetimo is still in this conversation and is actually enjoying it. He's just standing there with his drink, definitely someone could have walked away if it was anybody other than Genetimo at this point.
I love it. I love it.
But he kind of goes
No,
Don't look at
Waffles. No.
Look, hear me out. Hear me out.
No,
I'm not gonna say it on stream. I'm not gonna say it on stream. I just have to say this. I was looking up synonyms to rising.
We already did the Rockets. Let's move on.
Okay.
New ways. So
Jesus.
Genetimo is still involved in this conversation,
Yes.
and he's
I
just
love
eager and enjoying, and he's just names are incredibly powerful tools to tell stories, as I want to do. So if you do decide on one, I would love to hear it, as I guarantee I will be telling your stories.
What if we change our name every time we promote? So this time we can be the climbing Conversants.
Sounds
I
like
think
a
that kind of makes it hard to
sports team.
track these stories, yeah?
No, because we're the only ones that are good.
Well, I don't think that's
Whoa.
true.
Oh, okay.
I will. So let me ask out of character real quick. Do you all want to have this discussion and decide on something now, or do you want to, with the opportunity to redecide on a name that is not the future, kind of talk about this off screen and then come back? Because you will have time, everything's timey-wimey now, and
Yeah.
kind of bring that up when we have a decision.
Yeah.
I think so.
I want 3 minutes on screen in front of Genetimo just throwing out names, because I think that would be funny. And then if we don't figure out
That would be
something
really
we
funny.
like,
Okay,
then
go for it.
I like that
Then we
idea.
shelve it.
I
Okay.
like that.
You can see Arafe glazing over. She's trying to think of something and nothing's coming.
What kind of name would we like? Do we need just normal words?
As opposed to what kind of words?
Well, the future is technically normal words, but you said the climbing Conversants can't tell our story. But I don't know how the future would either. I'm just trying to get on the same page.
I think it's
Well-
about figuring out what represents us.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that is, besides the school, a concept that is reflected in all of us.
What are some names of other things that you've heard? When I think of some of the famous tales, Mwangi folk tales, I think of the Four Hunters, or I suppose more individual, but there's the Whispering Parrot. There is, of course, Ibex is well known. Is there examples of groups that you... Well, perhaps, like Gentimo's in on this now. He's very invested.
Oh, he's in. We got him.
Cat.
Well, there's take a look at the name of the Chime Ringers, right? That's a group
Right.
in the city. They're known as the Chime Ringers because they carry around chimes, but it also is representational of them calling in alarms and alerts if some things go down. So it is both representational and stems from something that they carry physically as well.
Then we shall be one step from death.
I think he just starts laughing.
Is it
You
bad
don't
that
need to
Star's
say it.
first thing was "and 2 steps from hell"?
Yes.
Then Hideaki kind of perks up. There's actually a book series that I read growing up. There's a group of monks. They were called the Deft Hands. which I thought was a bit
And-
on the nose, but I mean, it certainly fit what they were really good at. They were kind of
What
really
is-
focused on like unarmed, like not having like armaments.
From your speeches, what is a common thread that could be found?
Oh man,
None of us are
that's
the
a really
same.
good question.
No, but
But
I think you all seek your own versions of strength. Whatever
sure.
that means to
Kind
you.
of. I know this doesn't necessarily help with the name because it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but we all kind of talked about claiming things for ourselves instead of expectations or perceptions or whatever other third thing. So I don't know.
Sure. What if we just... Art's like
I like
thinking. The one thing we have in common is that we have nothing in common, based on our speeches. What if we just call ourselves the Outcasts?
I'm gonna start crying.
That is so cute.
God damn.
Like, I think Genatino
But-
like takes a breath.
I don't mind that.
But
Kind
we
of like it.
You all
But we-
define things for yourselves.
Yes, Hideaki?
but despite all those differences, we still choose to be together.
Which is why it's a group name.
Right.
The Outcasts implies a group of outcasts. And you know, I do like that it sort of subverts expectations. There's a negative-ish, lightly negative connotation initially, but to reclaim it, and like Jensine was like really like,
Well,
to
if you-
reclaim it as your own.
If you think about it, we all, in our own ways, came from places where we didn't quite fit in. And we came to a place and we didn't really fit in with each other. But despite all of that, we've still grown stronger and we've still proven ourselves and others wrong about us.
Yeah. Holy shit! Did we do it?
Did we actually agree on a name?
That was a good suggestion, Ark.
Thank you.
Genatino sort of claps his hands together happily. Excellent. I have a thought. And he kind of just turns around and like leaves you all.
Night.
Hideaki's eyes kind of follow him.
What's his thoughts? Okay.
And you
we
see him like
toast to
pull
it?
out a small little notebook and he's like starting to jot down stuff.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Like, should we toast to it?
I can.
Yeah.
Tal's just gonna go and get drinks.
Yeah.
Tal comes back with 4 drinks very quickly. Hands them out to everybody.
Art toast with Mage Hand.
Great.
You're
Wait.
the outcasts.
Tal also seeing that will use the gloves of mage hand that I keep forgetting that they have, and also do the
I have a
same
magic
thing.
item for this.
Wait, I have this.
All right,
I've
now,
never
I
used
think like
it.
now
Hideaki
Art,
has like his.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Like Hideaki has this like handout, and like people start casting Mage Hand, and he's just like, really?
Now Art cast. He toasts with telekinetic projectile.
We go to
We're doing
toast, the rest of our glasses just shatter.
Shatter. They're
I
actually red
cast
plastic solo
Phantom
cups.
pain.
Strongest glass wins.
To
The Outcasts.
The Outcasts.
To the outcasts.
Sure.
It was
Here
your
you have to
idea,
downs
Art.
Well, the name doesn't change us.
That's true.
Never will.
I love
Arafe
it.
is going to like slightly toast down to Rin as well.
Written fist bumps it. She doesn't have a fucking class.
Or does she? Because
Amazing.
I do.
True, actually.
That's not how my
Right.
shadow works.
So, with that and a brand new name to boot, which Syrup loves, we
never think of that.
It's so
Blinded.
sad, isn't it?
Blinded by
It's so
what's
good.
in
no,
it.
we earned
years.
it. Y'all
Yeah,
earned
we
it.
earned it
It's
now.
great.
Yeah,
we never thought of it because
we
it was
did.
never pertinent before, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of let Hideaki
A
run
name
with
well
it, whether you-
earned.
even though you didn't
Second title of this episode.
What's it?
A name well earned.
A name well earned. Oh, I
I like
love
that.
it.
like it. Fuck yeah.
Well done.
You're
Hell
welcome,
yeah.
podcast.
Writes
You're
it
welcome.
down real quick.
You're welcome, everyone.
Okay, so eventually, this party also comes to a close as those. At this point, I think at some point, like temporarily, a sort of ladder has been rolled down from the door to allow a less magical descent. Though some students do cast like Featherfall, or I forget that's not what it's called now, but through a variety of ways.
I think it's
The room
fly level
empties.
1, actually.
And descend.
As we get
So-
to the bottom, I'm just going to turn to Hideaki and go, "We didn't get attacked this time."
Yet we're still not like back home. Damn it!
Hideaki at the
Perfect.
Shroud House that night. Yet looking around, still the day's not over yet.
Benji's like, "I'm tired of these
Yeah.
fuckers.
And he's like, attack!
I've been lying in wait."
So, next up, tell me, because Arafe, you're the one that has had Teacher Lissetti talk to them. So at what point do you sort of follow up on this?
So I guess she talked to Ark about it the night before, but I would say she'll probably bring it up to the rest of them when we go get breakfast in the morning, since that's kind of a tradition that we're more careful about doing.
Definitely every morning.
Yep. So during that time, she'll be like, "By the way, Teacher Lissetti actually has something she'd like us to do. I don't know what it is, but she asked that we stop by for a bit of a task."
Mid mouthful. Okay, that's cool. Sure, yeah, totally fine.
So does Hideaki know she has an Eidolon? I can't remember. Or-
No.
Oh, you might actually enjoy. She has an Eidolon too.
Shut up. Why isn't that the first thing you said?
Look, we were very busy the past few days.
Wait, how long have you known this?
GM, how long have I known this?
It's been weeks by this point.
Because it's
Yeah, I think none of you have knew this from when she
First showed up.
revived Tal.
Yeah.
I ran
But-
into her during our previous
During your
Oh, yeah.
one-on-one.
Correct.
You've probably
during
known
your
this for like a
one-on-one, you knew her.
month
Yeah.
plus now.
Like
Good
a
job.
month.
Uh-huh.
Way to go.
I didn't think to tell you. I'm telling you now.
Okay. Here's one way that you will get my forgiveness. Are you ready?
Sure.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool is their Eidolon?
15.
Oh shit.
One more than Overnosa always.
And like mid of arc sentences, he manifests over Noza. We have some things to work on. Like, do we need to? Maybe we should dress you. I don't know. Woo!
Maybe you should meet this Eidolon before you try to change everything about Overnosa.
That is a good point.
You don't know what they
You make a
are.
great point.
Maybe
they
they're
are
not the-
in
they're-
Asimar.
Oh,
They
right?
are a what we now call and I will start to sprinkle in just to help us adjust to
the
the
new stuff?
remaster
Okay.
Nephilim.
They're Nephilim.
Those
Sweet.
are real.
Mm-hmm.
only read about them in
About them in
books.
stories,
Very cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
The ones touched by celestial blood, right? I've never met one.
Not today.
Neither have I,
Nephilim
but
can be
I have.
infernal or celestial.
Okay.
So you would be able to specify that this one is celestial. Yes.
Celestial. But yeah, maybe they'll be manifested when we're there.
Wait a minute. Question, GM.
Yes.
In the bazaar, when we were in the marketplace, the person there, Aya. Nope.
Yes.
Yes. I have in my notes that she also was what was previously called an Asmar,
Yes.
a Nephilim.
Yes.
Is that public? I didn't
I
write
think
down if that's
you
in
roll
player
really
knowledge. Is
high.
player knowledge or
Mhm.
character knowledge?
I think it's
Okay.
player knowledge. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know it's player knowledge because it's in my notebook.
Oh,
Character
sorry.
knowledge.
Character.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we have met one.
We have?
Yeah.
Yes, the person who was in charge at the market,
Oh.
Aya
Oh.
was a Nephilim. Of some
Really?
kind.
The one with the little shop owner, yes?
Yes, although I think she was in charge of the whole market thing.
He's the one that got the information on the stables for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow. Today's starting off really great.
But maybe we can head over there after breakfast if the rest of you don't have anything going on.
Should we go to class first?
I don't need to. I'm fine.
You know
Ooh,
what?
are y'all skipping classes?
Arc 2, considering it's a day after a very big celebration, I think I'm down for playing hooky.
I'm not playing
Depends, would
hooky.
I be?
I'm just ahead.
Would I be going to my Tempest Sons class or my Rain Scribes test or class? Because I'm more apt to skipping my Rain Scribes class.
Rain Scribes odds, Tempest Sun evens, roll a d6.
Oh no, not block scheduling.
Yes.
Fuck.
God, D6. Okay.
That
Schedule,
hurts
just a
my
random roll.
brain.
4.
What I say, so it's Tempest Sun.
Oh, shit.
think
They'll
we
understand.
should Well, I'm not ahead like Ark. Do you think it will be a long conversation?
Probably.
I'm not sure.
you met
'cause I
us?
don't know what they're asking to do. They just said they had a task for us.
Teacher
Once we,
Lucetti is annoying.
Whoa.
Sir.
Is it the first person that you've called annoying?
No.
Syrup asks why.
They were very high of themselves, and Ark didn't like it.
Oh, that was Tal asking in character if that wasn't clear.
Yeah, I was answering Syrup,
Okay.
and he said no to Down.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Don't disagree, but okay.
Really?
They
Well,
seem to think very highly of themselves.
So better or worse than Teacher Karide?
I don't like to
Radiant's
compare.
just mean.
But also thinks very highly of themselves.
Sure, they're also annoying.
Okay, so they're in the same sphere. Got it.
okay.
Airface holding
Can-
her tongue for now.
Okay. I'm fine with going, but could I get some help with some of my work later then?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
To be clear, do you want both of us or one of us?
I could probably help you
I will-
quicker, but if you want Hideaki, that's okay.
Also, Arafate,
I
a
know
little
that-
bit offended that she's not being even considered to be helpful.
No, they
No, not
Tal,
from you.
Tal, by the
not
way,
from you.
yeah.
From Hideaki.
Okay. Tal definitely addressed it to everybody. Well, I have a handful of different things, so I was going to come to whoever I thought would be most helpful to me
Excellent.
in those. So probably all three of you, honestly.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you want my help.
Okay.
The whiplash from we're a group, cohesion, everything's
Yeah.
great to insult.
Yeah. And he will I don't think he quite picks up on the Airfay noise, because Airfay's got a pretty good at keeping their composure. Actually, because I thought it was a Cascade Bearers Day, I don't want you to think that I'm super excluding you, Airfay.
It's fine.
He doesn't add, but he just
I would like to delve into that, please.
All right, so
Can I-
eventually you head on over to Teacher Lissetti's office, and I do believe that she told you at one point, Arafay.
Yeah.
So you head over, and I think she's gonna be in the. I'm gonna blank on the name of it. Hold on. She's gonna be in the same the Heron archives, the same space as Teacher Ott. Has one of the offices up on the second floor, and you sort of arrive, and knocking on the door, you hear a quick come in, and as just a reminder, I will. Let me see if I can find her.
Picture.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what she looks like.
I remember.
Who the hell
It's very
they
pretty.
are.
What is the skin condition thingy called?
Yes,
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I always want to say
brain was like
vitiligo, but it's
alopecia.
no. That was
a little
a 10
different.
candles
That's
thing.
definitely not it.
So,
Lissetti
as a
is
reminder,
gorgeous.
Lissetti is a diminutive Alaj elf. So she's very small. She's 4 foot, we'll say 4'8" or something. She's a tiny, tiny person. She's dressed in a pink kaftan, and she has a necklace adorned with tiny bones. And as you come in, she says, "Thank you for taking this request, Conversants. I have a friend." And actually, as you kind of walk into this office, it is neatly organized. You see rows of books, and I will have, just because I think Hideaki is so eager, I would like you to make me a perception check.
Of course.
Tal hasn't seen this person until since she died.
That's true.
Flashbacks.
Actually, would you have seen them at all? You were,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
The only
that's
person
true.
who's seen them has been Arafay, so no, I've literally not seen them.
No,
We've
when
been here
you
for
were
what, a
dead,
year?
did
Oh.
you see them at all?
No, not if they
No.
weren't there in the morning, then no.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
slept through the night and woke up after they left.
Well,
Yeah.
then this is a stranger to me. Great, cool. Never mind.
I think you would have been told, though, that this was the person that led the resurrection ritual for
This
you.
person saw you dead.
Yeah. Like a teacher odd or something.
So did other people.
I'm so sorry. What was the roll?
26.
26. You walk into this space and you are immediately absorbing everything you can. And so you're glancing at books, and you like books, and you are looking through them. There's a couple things that you notice. There's a lot of books on creatures, on different types of beasts and monsters. But you also see, they catch your eye, books on portals, extraplanar, things and references, planes of existences, a lot about that. And so what I will share to you as player knowledge is that Teacher Lissetti is a specialist on extraplanar portals and creatures.
That's
That's for the book, y'all. So she kind of welcomes you all in and like she doesn't really offer you seats or anything like that. And as you walk in there, her eidolon is not manifested. I'll just give you all a moment as you kind of enter if there's anything that you all do or say.
Just because he wasn't like expecting the eidolon to be manifested, but does Hideaki like feel any different? Like, is there like a real recognize real type situation?
So you are kind of almost like looking for it and feeling for it as you walk into the room, and you kind of look at teacher Lissetti with new eyes, having learned this information, and you don't feel any different. And it's kind of interesting because like almost you expect something. You're like, well, this is another summoner, another person who has their soul bound to another individual, but there is no connection here, and you wonder. You are connected to a dragon. They are connected to an angel. Maybe those are very different things.
Maybe.
So,
I guess as they enter, I will also say Arafe will introduce Tal, since Tal technically has not met Lissetti yet.
yes,
Hi.
know. Well, I have seen you, but I do not know you.
Thank you.
Of course. It is what I do.
Tal feels real weird, so just kind of nods and then gets real quiet.
So, Arafe. You have shown interest to me about life and death and healing and all of those wondrous things. So I have something perfect for you. And all of you. So I have a friend. One from back home. And you recall, I think there was some successful checks a long time ago that Alige elves come from a very like reserved space in the Mwangi expanse that typically does not deal with outsiders, and so or does not like kind of leave at all. So the fact that there's two of them that probably are here, it sounds like, is interesting, but that's more just history than and local regional stuff. They have bought a new house here in Otambu, and well, they have an awful problem. A poltergeist. Since you're interested in learning about not just life and death, but the cusp between, this is a great opportunity. Now, Toku hasn't been able to sleep a full night in his new house for weeks, and has taken up temporary residence at my home. So, you would be doing me a great favor as well if you can return him to his own home, and I can have a restful night's sleep on my own. But, regardless, he is still a friend. It has been proven difficult for me to find the time to get over there to help, but this is a great opportunity for students with real potential to learn more about the afterlife. So, are you ready for a hunting experience? And she kind of like laughs loudly at her own joke.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Excellent.
Boo yeah.
Does Ark say that?
No, that's Waffles.
I think we can handle that. And then she's going to specifically look back at Tal. Are we okay with that?
That is fine. I think we should do some research on this before we go.
Agreed.
that's
I
a good
don't
move.
have any experience with specters other than stories.
Same.
Walls?
Ark is just like kind of raising his hand, and then whenever everyone stops talking, he will look at Lissetti and say, Would we have been offered this if we were not conversants?
No.
So last night made us stronger?
No, it is just not the role of the school to offer tasks to non-conversants.
Understood.
I kind of think our previous endeavors have been run into by accident. I don't think we were meant to encounter Stone Ghost.
Or Gershkin, for that matter.
You have experience with ghosts?
I don't know if he was a ghost.
His name was Stone Ghost.
Well, his name was something else. As I flip back and
He went by Stone Ghost? I think I heard about this. I had left after you came back. Kind of like gestures to Tal. Well, perhaps this is a different experience is good either way.
Any suggestions? Or information on poltergeist that you can share with us? We're gonna go to the library, but if you have anything off the top of your head.
And she kind of like walks around her desk and kind of scans perusing the shelves. She sort of blinks, and suddenly beside her is the angel Eidolon that Hideaki has not yet seen.
Her face like
or me.
True.
Or R.
And the Eidolon on her behalf reaches up to a shelf that she cannot reach and pulls a book down and hands it to her. I'll give a moment if anybody's reacting.
Hideaki
Big eyes.
thinks he's whispering, but he's kind of not doing a great job. And he goes, totally a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is a humanoid shape with wings that have folded down. They are, I say humanoid shape because their legs kind of, they hover in the air and their two legs kind of come together, floating at a point. They are a specimen of a human with just like, it almost looks like marble. But they also are not, it doesn't look like skin. It is not skin colored. The large wings folded down at their back, so they're like floating despite their wings in a way. And they are completely hairless, bald. The eyes glow just light. But the one thing that you do see between, as all summoners and eidolons share, is some symbol of their connection, and you see around, something like that, Waffles. You see these sort of like runic, like glowing sigils around her wrist and around the eidolon's wrist, and it's like a bracelet, but it's like hovering in the air around their wrist, just like it hovers in front of your eyes, Hideaki. And it is soundless as it moves.
Something we have in common.
She kind of turns to look at you, kind of flipping. Well, she actually turns to you, flipping through the book. This has some information on poltergeists and the afterlife, and kind of hands it to you, Arafe. And kind of turns up, looking at you, like delayed a little bit. Yes, you have shared a soul as well, yes?
And I think I mentioned that I summoned him earlier, right?
Yeah.
Or well, last.
I wasn't
night,
sure if it was still up.
Yeah, well, yeah. Given the information, he totally would have walked in with him, and he kind of like leans on over and says, "Yep, certainly."
She just nods, like polite, but like also not caring.
Not catching that. Two things. One, any specific incidents in regards to this poltergeist? I mean, obviously, Toku, I believe you said was their name, is not residing there, but any damages, anything particular behaviorally that maybe with that information we can use to cross-reference?
I will send Toku to the house to greet you there, and you can ask him any questions, as he's the one who would know best. But yes, it kind of goes and like scribbles something down. This is his address.
Cool.
Thank you.
And then the second thing is 2A, 2B actually. One, can I borrow that book? And he points at like the extra planar like.
So there's many of different kinds. It's probably not going to be one that has like, here's a bunch of exoplanar stuff, but maybe. What would you like? What are you looking for? Like astral in particular?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you kind of like one of the ones that caught your eye had something to do with astral. And
if there is one about that kind of ties to Tal's patron, he'd take a look at that. He'd point that out.
There's not much regarding because that's nothing really in regards to that.
Just check.
It's more just like there's like one series you can tell because they're all like shared like the same spine that literally talks about the planes as they sort of circle out of Galarian and the material plane that you're in. And it kind of has like volumes based on that. So you probably like that's easiest to find where it just literally it says like the astral plane as one of them. And you kind of point to it and she just like looks at it and looks at you. Yes, you may, but please return it in pristine condition.
You got it.
Without saying a word, the Eidolon goes over, pulls it out, and like it just hovers forward and like has it like holding the spine out towards you, but it is almost, it's like not looking at you. It's very odd.
I think he'll like put eyes to Overnosa for a second and then grab it. Cool.
And I will keep you all in mind if you could do this favor for me for future projects.
Of course.
And he completely forgets 2B. I Jacob remember, but I think it's really funny.
Do you want me to put the book in the bag of holding so it doesn't get damaged?
Sure. I didn't consider that.
Thank you.
As he walks over to you, Erife, he actually whispers this time, "Thank you, really good idea. I was probably super fucked. My hands get sticky, you know."
I figured we're gonna probably fight a ghost, so we should probably put it somewhere and stay safe.
One plate of waffles in that book is destroyed.
Game over, bro.
There's so much peanut butter on it.
You know, right? Cool.
Okay.
He kind of like looks at everybody else, realizing that he like accidentally like took over the thing.
Right. So we'll probably go do a little bit of research and then we'll go meet Toku at the address.
I will send word.
All right.
All right. So what we'll do very briefly to kind of wave through some of the research and how successful you all are, I would like everybody to make a roll. And this is basically going to be a recall knowledge, but because you have, resources and stuff like that, we'll lower the DC. The DC? Yeah, the DC.
The deceased.
Uh-huh.
We'll lower the deceased.
The
As if you
deceased.
have
Into the
specific lore.
Okay. What is this recall knowledge?
Oh, thank you. You could do occultism or religion.
I will do religion.
Occultism blocks 24 for the Diaki, please.
Cute. Yes.
Natural 20 for a 33.
Let's go.
Nice.
Very occult.
That's a critical.
26 on religion.
Okay.
Occultism, natural 20 for a 31.
Ha! I
Damn.
beat Orc! Let's go!
Okay. So I will give you a variety of pieces of knowledge that you all sort of find through quick research. sounds like Teacher Lissetti mentions very specifically poltergeist, so you guys focus your research. I mean, there's lots in regards to learning about afterlife, but you're focusing, I'm assuming, on this creature or this thing. So a poltergeist very specifically is you learn it is tied to a location, so usually can't travel very far from where it was created or formed. And then they could be bound to like a specific room or a building or similar style areas. You learn that they often have fear-based effects around them. Just like you'd think like a poltergeist if you were to think of a poltergeist, right? They usually try to scare and things like that. There you learn where is it? They are naturally invisible.
Spells this morning.
And an important piece in regards to destroying a poltergeist. When a poltergeist is destroyed, it reforms. Fully healed. Eventually. Maybe in some delay. But you destroy it, it comes back. And it sounds like, from a lot of the research, and this is the key, I think that critical success is going to get you. The only way to fully, permanently remove a poltergeist is if you can determine its reason for existence and set things right. Whatever is keeping the spirit from resting.
Well, that sounds hard.
Yeah, no letters job, eh? Kind of says with a bit of a grin.
No letters.
It's okay.
Or
It'll be easy for
chickens.
us.
Okay, so we just need to figure out why a ghost can't rest and fix it.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm sure we'll just talk to it and it will be fine. Just like with the letters and packages. He just like says completely dry, like deadpan.
Speaking
You say letters, and Arafe automatically thinks to the one that she just sent, and her heart drops for a minute.
Speaking of Hideaki saying talking to it and all of that, did we get like what languages poltergeist speak? Waffles knows. I just want to know if the characters know.
I would assume that it's the languages that it's spoken in life.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, the stat block, because this is what I would be looking at. I mean, it speaks Common, which here in the Milwaukee Expanse is, I forget the name of it. But yes, the language that you all speak.
Okay.
Got it.
And I would definitely flavor it, like if it was a specific poltergeist, that it would speak the language that it spoke. Yes.
Yep. Got it.
Okay. Just making sure.
Put a big old star next to find out why it died so you can send it away.
Indeed.
Boy.
After this research, I think Ark will say, do we have anything to make it visible if we need to?
I do. I've learned a little bit of new magic that can... Oh, well, assuming it works, that can make things more visible. I'm more concerned about this fear effect, because I don't know if any of us have anything to do to combat that, do we?
Just don't get scared.
Well, that's going to be a
Skill
lot
issue.
harder for some of us than others.
Certainly.
I am looking to see if it does this.
Mm-hmm.
RFA chose Oracle instead of Cleric, so no.
I just had that
You'll
moment.
keep us
Does
alive as we're
restor-
pissing our
Does
pants.
restoration help with that? And I don't think it does. I think I'm just at toxins at this point.
I don't think you have anything.
Maybe
I
gonna
can
slow it
calm
down,
your
though.
emotions, but I don't think that's gonna help.
Do we want to stop by Zokan and see maybe there's something there?
Yeah,
That's a
like
very
scroll or
good
I know
something,
there would be a
or
lot, but
I don't have any
stave or
money,
whatever.
but I'll go with you.
A couple of you don't have
I-
any money as she looks at Hideaki.
You know I have a business, right?
You do?
Yeah. So well, it's more of a what do they call it in one of my book series? A
Side
pop up.
hustle?
A what?
A pop up. Because they don't really have time to do it like full time and stuff. Because Magaambya. But yeah. Me and
Are you gonna still have time to do that with your studies and with all of this?
Nope. Not really.
One thing Syrup forgot, and I'm so sorry. Poltergeists have the incorporeal trait.
That's what I assumed.
They have no physical form and can pass through solid objects. So, that might affect some of the damage that you can do to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to the question, yeah, Habram and I finally got that hang gliding business off the ground, and it went really well.
That's great.
Hang gliders should be
So-
off the ground. Ark did say that one.
You know,
They're not wrong.
Eric did giggle.
man, that's a really good first review, Arc 2, and you haven't even used it yet. Something to keep in mind. But yeah, I have a few coins to click together. Happy to help invest in this escapade.
I don't remember if my character sheet is correct or not. It says I have
feel like
money.
Okay. I think you guys
We-
got some
We
recently,
got
like
some-
Benji.
Oh, we sold stuff. We sold
Yep.
something.
We sold
Yeah.
stuff and we got a chunk of change from Zokan because we
We did
hadn't been picking up our
Yes.
stuff.
Let's-
Or
we
Benji.
sold a
Kind of-
fancy feather. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So I do also have money. That's why I brought that up. So I would want to stop at Zokan if Zokan has something that could help with fear effects. Great.
Yeah,
And if not,
so-
meh.
You will stop by Zokan, and you are technically headed into the city, so between what he has and potentially if you're looking for something very specific, let me know,
Sure.
and we can
Defearify.
Phoenix down.
Spray. It's just like a spray. You're just like.
You go away. You go away.
So after some light shopping, which we'll handle, don't worry.
Sure.
We find ourselves following you all out. Airfay, is there something for you? Okay. So we find you, our camera crew following you all as you head back into Natambu, the ever so famous camera crew. And we eventually, through different streets, find our way to the address that was handed to you. Outside of this space, let me see if I can have one more handout here.
While you're pulling it up, it's definitely 2 camera crews now because we're Conversants and we're more important.
Oh, okay,
Gotta
yeah,
have that-
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
have
yeah.
that
We have
second-
two. We have a double
the
angle
tracking
now, yeah.
shot.
Double
Syrup.
check.
Yeah, have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
tracking
yeah.
shot. Double
We
chicken.
got that aerial.
Yeah, crane shot. Crane
Yeah.
chicken. Sorry.
Yeah, you have a drone as
It's
well.
a drone. Yeah, we have a drone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chicken drone.
So
More believable than a crane chicken.
Crane chicken.
you make your way into the city and make your way to the address listed. And this is a slightly residential area, and you do see the house in question is a creaking wooden structure, and it's obviously, yes, quite old. Although, as you know, to Toku, it is new to him, but it is not a new house by any means. From the porch of this house is quite easy to identify another Alley J elf with similar platinum hair and different vitiligo patterning. You see Toku. And Toku
Oh, they're so
has,
cute. It's sad. I'm sorry.
has like this nice little circlet, silver and intricately woven, and a matching sort of like jeweled brooch, dressed in rather nice clothes. And knowing the city of Natambu and knowing the craftsmanships that the way like people's way of life here, you kind of can't help but wonder like maybe his day to day might have something to do with jewelry or something like that. This might be what his craftsmanship. Now, Choku, longtime friend of Lissetti, greets you all and kind of waves. Hello.
Wave back.
Hello.
Kind of as you gather around. Are you the group that Lissetti sent?
Yes. We are here
Wonderful.
to help the best we can.
The Outcasts.
The Outcasts. Nice to meet you. I'm Toku.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. This is thank you. So this is my house. But I haven't had the chance to stay here. I love this house. It makes me very happy. There is a poltergeist, as Lesedi said, in there, and he doesn't like it when guests enter, and he likes to make his presence known at night, their presence known at night, especially so I can sometimes go in during the day, but if you all enter for sure, it'll get angry. They'll get angry, and I've been staying at Lassetti's, meanwhile. But if I could have my house back, that would be great.
What
Is
sorts of
it-
things
You go
do
first.
they do that you've seen?
It when it's annoyed, it starts to throw things up around the house, all sorts of things, and I like to collect things, and I make a lot of jewelry, so there's a lot of things lying around, which may have been a bad idea, but it likes to throw things around and kind of just toss the house about, really.
Is there a place that they show up more often, or that they did that you saw?
The whole house, but when the probably the foyers or the main entrance, because I have the stairs go up kind of around, they ring around it, so there's a nice big open space, which I liked when I saw it, but yes.
When you bought it, they I assume they didn't make any mention of there being any kind of specter
No.
or strange things happened in this house before, or any history about it that you know?
No, and it was a pretty good price, which is why I got it, and now I'm thinking it's probably why, though. Oh, and it kind of points at you, Tal, a little bit, but then realizes it's rude and like puts his hand. It when I've seen it, it looks like a skeletal catfolk.
Huh. Okay.
Has it ever said anything?
A little, just kind of yelled to get out, but to be fair, I haven't stayed any nights here yet, so I haven't really tried to talk to it. It's not really my thing. I make jewelry.
That's understandable.
Oh,
You said
and
something-
it will try to frighten you, but don't let it.
I won't.
Okay.
We'll do our best. You said something earlier about the night. Is there like a particular, as far as you know, with your limited experience with it, does it seem to be more aggressive in the evening? Or after dark, I should say?
Yes, it comes out at the night usually, and it can come out if when it doesn't like guests, it doesn't like people in the house. But if I've been in the house and it's just me, it doesn't really. It usually comes out at night. Yes.
Has it ever harmed anyone that you know of?
Just tries to scare and throw things. I mean, I've been hit with a book before, and he kind of like showed like a faded bruise on his arm. And if you wish to go in and investigate, I'm going to stay out here.
Oh, no,
Sure.
that's
course, yeah.
absolutely fine.
What time of day is it?
With the research that you all have done for a little bit, we can say that it's sort of like late afternoon, and if you all wish to wait for evening, you can do so.
Hideaki will sort of speak up and say, I think I'd rather go in the evening if we have a little bit of intel inside, like getting the lay of the land and seeing what things look like first, because maybe it won't attack us during the day.
You
You
said that
are
does
a
it
bigger group, so I think it will.
does. Yeah, it does sometimes come out even just with guests. Or what if one of us just goes in?
Yeah.
Right. Or you kind of, I don't know if you have a Nim out or anything like that.
Oh.
And you kind of he'll point at Nim or Overnosa maybe.
I have a new spell. So I will kind of scoop Nim out of like. I don't know where I keep this creature. I don't know where they are most of
In
the
a
time.
bag.
They have a mind of their
somewhere,
own anyway.
Yeah.
Your own little
Yeah.
pocket.
Follow you too. Like you don't
Well, I
have
mean-
to carry them. They can follow you. Yeah.
But they're so small.
And cute.
So I guess then if they were just following, then I'll bend down and say, I think it will probably leave you alone, Nim, but I want to be able to see what's inside. So I'd like for you to go in, and I'm going to rest 2 of my fingers on Nim's forehead and then on my chest as I cast Familiar's Face.
Ooh. What's that?
Making the target, my familiar, a scrying sensor, allowing me to see through its eyes, smell what it smells, and similarly use its other senses.
Sick. That's so cool.
That's very cool.
If I can cast a spell with the revelation trait that affects my senses, such as see invisibility while the spell is active, I gain the benefit of the spell through my target senses instead of my own, which I don't have
Wow.
that yet, but you know.
That's so cool.
And other stuff, which will come around at a dramatically appropriate moment.
Gorgeous. So you send Nim in. So you do kind of like open the door a crack to allow.
And I
Nim
say,
in.
like, I imagine that while doing this, it doesn't say so, but I imagine that it, at the very least, impairs my senses.
Yeah, we can look at it. If I've seen something like it, and I do believe it does, but I can, if you want to link me, or the name of it, I'll look it up in just a second.
Yeah.
But it should be okay here in this case.
Yeah, but like Tal's just still like kneeling down where they were when Nim runs in there.
Perfect. And so Nim kind of slides inside. There's some light filtering in here from the windows. It is an older 2-story wooden structure. You kind of enter into definitely like this like wider open like foyer space. There is it's sort of like it's like rectangular. You see stairs up to your left to a sort of second floor balcony. So like you can basically like look down from the second floor down the space, and there is I'm just gonna like relatively visually describe it. There's like a fireplace near the middle with a sort of mantle that has lots of like decorated rocks and all sorts of things that like Toku has like come in and like started to decorate and stuff like that during the day when it's just him and he can kind of get away with it. But there is off to the side this sort of open living room space. It is a relatively open layout. There's a couch over there. Side tables, and you see that it wraps around into a kitchen behind. Upon Nim entering, there is not much movement or otherwise.
Okay. Great. I'll because I can, I think, talk to them. I don't remember how. I'll look
Bring
it
him
up.
back.
Nim comes back. And I think right before I like drop the spell, I forget that I'm using it. And Tal starts relaying things, like starts to, but you hear it coming from Nim. And Nim just is talking exactly in Tal's cadence, but with like the vocal cords of presumably an animal. So it's weird and like chirpy and a little bit snarly.
Did you give Nim the feature to be able to speak?
So the second part of this is you can also speak through the target with a voice much like yours, though it takes on some of the timbre and characteristics of
That
the
is
target's browser
awesome.
box.
I love it.
Uh,
Love it, love it,
yeah.
love it.
Clarification question, Maria. Is Tal's mouth moving?
I think if you looked, it would be like a little bit
Kind of
like kind of like muttering a little bit.
What's the puppets? The
Not quite like ventriloquism, but like just a little. Oh God, y'all. But just like a little bit. no. A little bit of like stop now. A little bit of movement. Like they're muttering, but the sound is coming from Nim as they relay like the exact same things that
The layout, the
Syrup just
general.
says.
Yeah.
Like 2/3 of it until I think Tal realizes a little bit what's going on, potentially because they're seeing y'all's faces from a weird angle, and then drops it. Oh. Anyway, and is going to continue the rest of the description with their voice as they pick up Nim.
amazing.
All right. What do you all do?
I think Hideaki's mouth is just agape, just like looking back and forth between the two of you. Nice.
I've learned some new tricks.
Yeah, definitely.
Thought it would
Very
be
cool.
useful.
Super helpful.
Seems very helpful.
Well, the coast is clear so far. Should we rip
So
off the
far.
band-aid?
We can always leave if we find it too difficult and come back.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should like leave a door open just in case.
Let's
Why?
prop it open, put like a stone or something in front of it so it can't easily be closed.
Well, here's the thing, everyone. They can throw things around, so they're going to throw things around whether we prop it open or not.
That's fine, but I guess my thought, and maybe Hideaki's was too, is then they can't close and lock the door behind us
Yep.
as easily.
True, but if we need to get out, we could break a window and we would replace it. I'd say.
Doug's like, okay.
If the worst happens, I don't think we'll be stuck in there.
Do we want to go in non-hostily if possible?
I think that's smart.
I think we need to gather information to try to figure out why it's here, while
you-
also trying not to get hurt.
After seeing the house,
Agreed.
do you think it would benefit us to have about 10 minutes?
Maybe. I don't know how much. GM, was there wasn't anything that like majorly stood out as like strange or slightly.
Nope.
Okay,
Not that you could see. I mean,
gotcha. There
Yeah.
wasn't anything that really stood out, so I don't think it would hurt, but I feel like it might be something that isn't visible. Maybe more of an emotional tether or something. I don't know. Or something that's been boarded up or covered up, or I don't know. But I don't think 10 minutes would hurt.
definitely think you should try to talk it out. It's going to be mad because it gets mad, but just don't let it. Just
Sure.
no matter how aggressive it is, just initially maybe try to talk to it.
We'll try not to take it too personally. Are there
I
exits?
can't
Other
stay
exits?
very long, unfortunately, because I get hurt.
It's okay.
No worries. We've got your back. Are there other exits, by the way, besides the one that Nimwar through?
I have a back door
Mm.
to a little porch.
Very cute. Should we 2 by 2 or go all in with one entrance?
Doing it, splitting up might not be a terrible idea if we're in pairs.
That's true.
I think that might be the move.
Sure.
The GM changes her mind. There's no back door.
Ark, do you have any opinion on how we should split up?
No.
Okay.
I think I do. You were probably not surprised. Considering 2 of us, based off of this new information, have the ability to extend our senses into someone else, we should probably be on opposite teams, just in case.
Oh, I can sustain this.
Yeah.
Can I just sustain it indefinitely?
You have to use an action to sustain it, though. So in combat turn order, it might be a little bit different.
Okay. I'm
and
not
like by
going to,
the
'cause I have
rules
other
of the
things
game,
to
if you go on sustaining a spell for like an hour or 2, like it can lead to exhaustion and stuff like that. But
Makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, Tao would say, I can't really do that again today, but I do have the fairy fire spell
Okay.
to help make things stay invisible, invisible.
Uninvisible? Visible.
So, with that, and I'm just gonna push forward just a little bit.
Totally.
You split up. So if you do go into opposites, who's with Tal? Ark or Arafe?
I'm gonna go with Tal.
Yes.
Tal
So
and
the
Arafe.
rivals can go
Hideaki.
together.
That is only for tea purposes, and I respect the decision.
Team Terafe, front or back door?
Wow.
Back door, back door, back door. I
Giggity.
love this ship name so much.
Wow, that was way too fast. Well done.
Wow.
Hideark,
Terafe.
go to the front door.
Oh my god.
It's better than Arkiaki, okay?
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie.
I like
Listen, I would
Arkiaki.
debate that. That sounds like Archaeopteryx, and that's a dinosaur. So like,
Archaeopteryx.
Sounds like Takoyaki.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It does sound like takoyaki.
That's top heavy.
so I already
Yeah,
forgot.
top
So
hat
Tal and Arafe are back, and then Hideaki and Ark are front. Okay.
Yep.
So, one going around the back, one standing by the front door. Do you all enter?
Yes.
yeah.
Fabulous. With not one little ferret-like creature, but 4 beings entering on the premises. Well, you step foot inside, on edge, looking around, waiting. Floorboards creak. It's dimly lit. There is light filtering through the windows. It is still getting to be late afternoon, and the shadows stretch long. There's nothing. You take a look around. You see the sights that Tal described to you. And from the back door, you enter into a kitchenette with 2 open doorways on either side of this sort of middle, what you would know the back end of the fireplace that you saw from the front. Take a couple steps forward, looking, waiting. It does not take long. As a few steps forward, behind you, the doors shut. Windows slam shut. Darkness inside. Unfortunately, Toku, has, this is per the book and it made me laugh. Unfortunately, Toku has a large collection of interesting rocks. As suddenly,
Nice.
a whirlwind of items from all over, kitchen, front, everywhere, begin to pick up and whirl around you. So as a literal whirlwind of items begin to swirl around you, I need everyone to make me a reflex save.
Dwayne, chill. Oh no.
Not good,
no.
Bob. Not good.
Nope.
Oh no, I had to roll for overnose too. Fuck.
I'm gonna hear it by mine.
I don't.
Hmm?
I want to hold it. It's more fun. Eric, I got 12. I have a plus 10 to reflex.
Nice.
Okay.
Art got 30.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
25.
That's a 13 for Hideaki.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And
I feel like as we're walking in, we're just walking in, I'm like, Tal, it's so dark, and as a book hits me in the face.
And a 25 for overnose.
Okay. And can you remind me, because I do not remember, is it when it's a reflex, it's a one effect that hits the two of you. I believe it's like the worst roll or
separately.
Yeah.
Oh no! From like the damage stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
take the worst.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
DC was 22.
Oh no, I
didn't
critically failed.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Arafe critically.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
Great. Cool.
It's a lot. I imagine.
Cool.
I rolled.
And they were conversants for one day.
D6.
Huh?
And I believe Waffles for basic.
Oh, you double
saves?
it.
Double it?
For a crit failure.
Okay. What's your total hit points, Arafe?
73.
Oh, she's fine.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll have at
5.
least 1 hit point left.
Okay. Whew. I haven't seen y'all's hit points since the level up, so I was nervous.
Mine's not
okay.
73.
Who has failed? Does anybody else fail? Okay.
I failed.
You critically failed, Star.
Yeah. I went, it's fine. Tell a story.
But if it makes you feel better,
tell
Star, I take
story.
double damage because Hideaki is affected and overnose is affected.
So no, you don't. You just take the worst roll and you take the damage for the one, if I recall.
Yes,
I
that is true.
Yes.
So, like, if you critically succeeded and overnose critically failed, it's a crit fail.
Right.
Yeah, for the both of you. Yeah, there's
I thought
some
I still take
shared
the
things.
results of both. Okay, cool, got it. I'll take that.
Otherwise, it would be really, really not fair to share a hit point pool. So, as things start whirling around, a book hits you upside the head, Hideaki, for 23 points of damage.
Oof.
A collection of really nice polished rocks just pummel you, and one hits you just in the temple, Arafe. And you feel blood like trickling down as you take 46 points of bludgeoning damage.
Fine.
And then the rest of you take halved of the 23. Did anybody critically success?
Nah, it's so close.
No.
2 away.
Okay.
Half of
So that is
11 or 12.
11. I could do math.
I don't want.
Well, do it anyway.
I just won't.
I'm down to a third HP, but I'm fine.
Of the ones that entered through the front door, that was Hideaki and Ark again?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. As these begin to just hurl in a telekinetic storm, I think -2. No, okay, they did this. They simplified this. Okay. Suddenly, in front of the two of you, manifests out of nowhere a skeletal-looking catfolk that frightens. It was absolutely invisible and suddenly becomes visible in front of you. It is ghost-like, it is skeletal, it is off-putting. The two of you, as the other ones are not in line of sight, make me a will saving throw.
29.
And Overnoza.
Natural
21 for Hideaki. And 19 for Overnosa.
Okay. As Overnoza does not meet the DC, I know you went to go get some items, so I'm going to pause here.
That sounds intelligent.
At the moment of the manifestation of this skeletal catfolk, as it just mouth open wide and like screams as it shows up right in front of your faces, is where we're gonna end tonight.
Yeah!
Ghost.
I love it.
Only
Skeleton
66
ghost.
damage.